Well, let's get on with it then, and hope that everything pans out. We're back with OpenTTD. It's been a wee bit of a while. I did try to do a stream of this on my travels, but Austria, well, must have been raining or something. Those poor Viennese copper cables just couldn't handle it. But now we're in glorious Budapest, and I've got myself a wee bit of time set aside because I just really want to get going with some infrastructure building. Even getting lashed in Budapest, it's all I could really think about. So what's going on? When last we left off, we'd clartered much of Africa in a wonderful logistical network, which we actually get a good view of here in the map of the world. Very different design from what we did in South America, and very different from the absolute hodgepodge that is North America. And it's almost done. We're going to finish it off. We're going to add a few more industrial routes, most notably to feed the beating heart of Africa. And if we still have some time after doing that, I do hope to finally get a head start on Europe. Europe has long been somewhere I want to get going with, and we can get it done. Thanks to a certain Baron von Ohn, though, I've gotten myself a lot of things prepped for Russia, because Russia is clearly too huge and significant to just have one city of Russia in. So I reached out to Baron, and he helped me with a fairly good list of Russian administrative areas. Unfortunately, they tend to just share the same name as their cities, but that's okay. That's the rule. We can have that. I mean, that's why we have a New York City here. It's because New York is the state as well. So, what's going on? I guess if you're watching this in the future on the VODs, you'll be wondering why this got redirected. The previous stream we did this, but it was unsalvageable. The stream, that is, not the line. I redirected the line from Mali Central not to the metro of Liberia, because that wasn't quite doing what we wanted it to do. Instead, I have ran it over to the Gambia transfer, which I'm going to set up a boat network to bring people from the Gambia transfer over to, well, North America and South America. It will really lighten the load for poor Liberia, which has been struggling. It's not so much Liberia that's struggling, it's the Mali Central, which has a lot of people trying to transfer to different places. Look at that, 5,000 wanted to go to Liberia. But that's not just because they want to go to Liberia, they want to go to the New World, or the old New World. It's kind of hard to know what is what there. Anyway, that is set up, and that does appear to be working, and we're just going to unpause the game, because I don't think there are pressing matters right now. And I'm going to remove the last remnants of that rail line that we had out. I think it looks very bad to have abandoned rail lines sitting around. It's actually something I wonder about in real life. Why are old rail lines just left there? I would imagine there'd be a reasonable amount that one could salvage out of it, but no. My very small town that I spent a fair bit of time in growing up back in Scotland, it a long time ago had a rail line that ran to it, but of course that was discontinued, like so many rail lines are. And the tracks and even some of the depots just still sit there rusting away. Given how much of a problem it is people stealing all the copper cables and such off of train lines, why are those just left and not recycled in some way? I don't know. Perhaps I'll never know. But it is enough to make a man think. Don't know what he's thinking now. Right, so we clear that up. Nature can take back what is rightfully its. Just in case this annihilates the metro with it, I'm actually just going to delete you like so. There we go. Now the Gabarnga Metro can get back to working how it normally does. It's a good metro system. The double donut system that we have for Liberia keeps these people moving like crazy, and that helps with the growth. Ooh, but Liberia would grow better if it got to sell some alcohol, food, or goods. We're not going to do that just now, but we should keep it in mind that they are hungry buggers over there. Okay, so this long line with very long trains that runs into the Gambia transfer is not of any use to us unless we actually have people heading on over to the old New World. Now, how are they going to do that from here? They could go in via the Liberia boy down to the Dominican Republic boy. I'm just wondering if that's too far for them to go. I will give them an extra boy just in case. Now, if there are any hiccups to the stream, I trust you'll let me know ASAP, because it's pretty difficult for me to keep an eye on that. I only have the one monitor here. A one monitored peon once again, although I can periodically check and see that there's no issues with that. Which means catching up on chat, I've actually got my tablet set up so I can see the chat in there. It's been a long time since I've had a setup like that. I don't run many planes, Acronymus. I will run some, and I do run some, but it's just a dedicated line of alcohol and mail from Alaska. It seems like that's a decent way to use them, using planes to bring in specific goods that a place will want. And in this case I wanted alcohol for good old Greenland. Greenland that just grows like a weed. It'll stop eventually. At some point Greenland will outgrow the inner city PAX network that I have for it. But that could be a long way away because that was a good, well, a half-decent metro system that gave it to the north. So what are we going to do with Cambian transfer? Let's get ourselves a place here to get ourselves those ships. When I do sorting for ships, I should just do it by maximum speed. And yeah, the ducat wins out big time here. So, very simple line. Well, not that simple, the boat ones never are that easy. Still though, you go and hit up the Gambia transfer, and I want you to... Oh right, look, we have the Guinea-Bissau buoy there that I didn't notice. Still, we want you down to the New Old World. And these guys seem to be doing fine all the way to the New York buoy. Get on that Maryland buoy, and then to Maryland itself. I don't trust the boats to go through the locks on their own, unless they're handheld with little boys there. I have no reason to distrust it, I just feel like it's not going to work the way I want it to unless we do that. Right, I'm going to clone you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 of you, which still might not be enough. Let's make sure that these guys are automated and auto-separation. Now that doesn't work well for boats on very long distances, so what I'm going to do is speed up the game and send these guys out periodically. That way they'll already be spaced out a fair bit. This was some advice that I got from the guy that developed the JGR patch. And allows us to pass a bit of time, which is good because we're about to enter monorail age and I would like to use monorails for Europe. Alcohol and mail sounds perfectly reasonable. Gotta work through 7 more hours of React tutorials because front-ending is miserable. My heart goes out to you, Acronymus. Think how much better your day would be if you could just sit back and be playing OpenTTD. Certainly what I'm thinking. Oh me oh my. I was going to be streaming a bit earlier, but my gaggle of extremely useless friends came over to use the facilities in my bleeding hotel. They have their own accommodation, but they wanted to use my one here. Right, there we go. Should I still clone you? Because one of these guys is still taking a bit of time to get back. I think I will, actually. Because I do want these guys spaced out. It's important to have regular service. Gotta keep those ratings high, don't you know? Okay, one of them's finally on the way back, so that's okay. I will, however, clone you, but you're going to be refitted for mail. And then we're going to do much and such the same with you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, just click a while and see what happens. So this is what I should be doing for all of my boat routes that are long distance. Thankfully, I suppose, this should really do it for long distancing. The reason being that I can't think of any other parts of the world where we're going to have such a long distance to only be dealing with, or only being handled by boats. The journey from old world to new. Since we don't wrap around and go from, say, the Americas to Asia, this is probably the limit of what I have to do. Also, holding down tab sucks, so I'll just click that there. Shizzle, it is going very well. It's easy to forget how much I love traveling. Sure, the home comforts are good, but there's just something I feel that's inherently good about waking up one place and going to bed in another. Today I'm in Budapest. I do really like Budapest, despite it being a big city. I'm not one for big cities. I certainly am not enamored with Vienna, but Budapest, jings. It's a different style of melting pot here. Normally I don't like the cosmopolitan approach, but there's just something that this place has that other big cities does not. And that does include the ruin bars, I suppose. This soundtrack combined with the always sultry Scottish tones is magnific. If you say so. Feeling a bit sultry this morning. I was out fairly late. But gotta remember, this is no holiday. This is working travels. Been going around getting footage of castle ruins as I've been going around, and that is fan-bloody-tastic. Okay, with any luck, this is going to alleviate Mali Central. If not already, then in time. A lot of those people want to head north. No, Christ, still a lot of them want to do Liberia. After a wee while, though, I imagine there are going to be more that wish to go to the Gambia transfer instead. Look at that, I actually think it's starting to generate more people for the Gambian transfer than the Liberian one. Then again, part of the problem, I suppose, is that you only go to North America. There is a still hefty amount of people wanting to do South America. Should we continue? Should I link you up with Colombia? Colombia is a good point for it, but it might be that it's better to have these people come down to... do I have anywhere that cuts through here? No, all the cutting through is done by industry, except for one I'm certain I... Yeah, you. Minas Gerais? Minas Gerais? Something like that. Oh, but you're overburdened already. I like these 5-length trains because you can fit them into nice places, but it does limit their capacity a fair bit. I am in Budapest, welcome, says Gizapetti. And I think there's a common theme around Europeans to not like their own capital city, but I can see a fair bit of love for Budapest. Then again, I can't really communicate well with Hungarians, so maybe plenty of them actually hate the place and they cannot adequately, or we cannot adequately converse about it. Right. Unfortunately, I do think shoving everybody into Colombia is the best idea. Colombia, surprisingly enough, isn't that overburdened. Most of the overburdening are people that want to head out by boat to Maryland. A lot of people want to go to Ecuador, though. And that's just heading straight down here. Ooh. I dread to think it. Am I going to need another station coming out of Colombia? Well, problems for future, Jake, right? Just get the ball rolling and I'm sure everything will be fine. I'm just wondering if I do want to make those guys go south. No, we'll leave it be. We need to press on. Before I get linking around these packs, I want to do some industry. Industry just feels good. It's the right thing to do in that regard. And here we have the beating heart of Africa. I like the idea that every continent is going to have one magnificently well-fed furnace. And here we go, the Minnesota furnace gets loads of goods coming in, produces very literal tons of steel, to the point where I can't even get it all shipped out, but I'm not gonna worry about these guys. These are some poorly made vehicle pickups that I have, but we'll leave it as testament to the things we've learned as we go along. I love this. Kinda wish I could blueprint it by now. Forget which is the more dive-like places, Poroso or Soru. I don't know the names, I just go where the wind takes me. Right, so this beating heart, it's going to do better output if I get it all those goods, and there should be nothing stopping us doing that, so let's get on it. For one, the beating heart of Africa is going to need to connect to the Liberian industrial yard, because all the steel is going to be brought to this metal workshop. The metal workshop is also going to want chemicals, but one step at a time. It's a 7-length train, if I recall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at the very least going to want a two-track 7-lengther here. I've left this in a very inconvenient location. I could pop over you with this. That wouldn't be a big deal. Alright, something like that. And what's this going to be? Well, it won't be the Chad Woods, it'll be the... James, I forget my naming convention for stations like that. I'll call it the Chad Metalworks. Not Metal World, but Metalworks. And then we need to... Hang on, well, for one, it would be handy if I used the correct kind of trains for it. But as I recall, don't my high-speed ones not do freight right now? If I wanted a cargo for steel, which is what's coming out here, there are no wagons for it. So actually, although I would like to use monorail, monorail isn't quite available yet, so it's going to have to be AC electrified. We'll get you upgraded to this. Ka-chunk. Holy crivens, I just remembered something that I should really fix. And that's you in Nova Scotia. This is backed up because I made a bridge on high-speed rail. Don't worry, I'll get you sorted. There we go. Yeah, poor Nova Scotia was getting no anything from the moment that I built that bridge. Somebody must have noticed at the time that I used the wrong kind of rails. And they've probably been creasing up with cringe since, or just laughing at it. In any case, that gets it sorted. Is a metal world though. I feel like the metal industry is a very powerful one. It drinks up so many other industries. It doesn't need... Well, it doesn't really necessitate engineering supplies, although that will make it even better. And then steel becomes goods, and goods are worth crazy money. It's a good and profitable life to live, for sure. Right, let's get you out of here. Must have more, yeah. Blessed trees out of my way. Now I could see a possibility that this might not actually be enough for loading and unloading all that steel, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Although I got this mod to have better looking bridges, I actually think these bridges are a bit ugly in their own right. It's okay though, at some point we're going to have monorail and even maglev lines, and those are certainly the big uggos of the game. You know what, if I don't want it to be that ugly, and I don't, why even accept the ugliness? We can just go under. I'm sure that's not what I wanted to do. And there we go, I should just have it level like that, otherwise the tunnels get a bit unhappy. There we go. Tunnels cost the same in terms of maintenance as bridges, and yet I feel that they have more utility. I like the stacking effect of it all. There's a fair bit of industrialization of Africa going on here. Kind of puts me in mind of other games about industry that come out recently. I have not had much time with Victoria 3 at all. I would like to change that. But if there's one thing I would hate to do, it's just shelf this. I want to get it done. I really enjoy it. I certainly don't want to put any pauses in it. And whilst I might be in an awkward phase of life in terms of getting streams done, I see no reason that this cannot carry on. You know what? I think we can even continue to go under here. And jings are still a bit to go. How are we going to bring you guys up here? For one, I don't need to do any kind of fancy crisscrossy thing here, I don't think, although it might come to pass that this becomes a bigger, more main rail station that comes into here. I don't know if I want dedicated lines or not. I think I might do dedicated lines. If nothing else, I haven't done it before, so that's a good enough reason to do it. Good evening from Vladivostok, Jake. It's been really hard to keep up with your streams ever since I moved here 2 months ago. In a way, it's kind of beneficial from my perspective, because since my streams are a little irregular now that I am on the move so much, it gives people a chance to catch up. Although I'm still baffled by the amount that some people will be watching these. I suppose I could kind of see the appeal. I would like to watch some kind of OpenTTD stuff like that. In fact, I've been indulging in watching a fair bit of Factorio playthroughs. I had the itch for the game, but also a little bit of, I've already played it kind of to death. what else can we do? And it turns out that watching someone else play Factorio is also really enjoyable. When it comes to Factorio, I really like to have it edited though. Watching some guy do Ultra Death World of it. I love Death World. Death World is the way to play Factorio. None of this peaceful nonsense. I think I'll just level this out, give myself an easier time coming over to this, and if I go over you, then all is well. Or even under you. Under you might be better. This is well situated for tunneling through. Yes, indeed. Can you come out like so? You can. You can join them. And then, and then, and then. Could we sneak by just a little bit more? I don't even need to bring it up there, because if you're already down, then I just need you to pop out here. Oh, okay, we're one off. Away you go. You can have your land back. Peak Complete does quite good challenge runs, and the editing is all there too. Is that with Factorio? If so, I might have to check that out. The guy I'm watching is Michael something or other, I think. With a thick Dutch accent. When it comes to streams, I really only watch people from within this community. But if there's a well-made YouTube video, that can be quite the exception. Right, let's get it signaled up. You almost think I forget how to do this, but it comes back naturally. Until I find some other mistake I'm making. Right, out you go. We're even doing it the correct way. And lengthy though you may be, let's have you come off and get you some much needed maintenance, and then back in you go. I really like this way of doing your maintenance throughput. It looks a little bit less like a clown car, although it does look daft when one is squeezing out and the other is squeezing in. In you go, and out you go. Excellent. Now, actually mystifies me a bit why I set that one up first, because there's no need. No need at all, in fact, to be bringing steel out when there's no steel being made here. We need iron ore, coal, and scrap metal. We can get the ball rolling here with the Chad coal mine. It makes a ton of coal. Do I want engineering supplies there? It's a bit of a pain in the bum because it's so far inland, but we could figure that out, I'm sure. It's very close. I struggle to think of a good reason to do this by train, but that might be all the more reason to just do it by train anyway. Can I squeeze in a train line? Even a single one right here? Yes, and you will work the way I want you to. Could you just go there? And then... oh my, nice. Cheap and cheerful this will be. And then, and then, and then... a lot of trees going on here. I'm starting to wonder if I should just have my trees on permanent. How do we lock this in again? Control click, lock it in. There we go, give myself a little bit easier time seeing what's going on here. All that's well and good. You can go there if you need maintenance. Otherwise you just grab all the coal and dump it off there. And this will be the Chad colliery. Colliery? I don't know. Someone can help me with the spelling there. That's all the better. I'm not going to link you with Chad Metalworks. I would like to have a dedicated side over here for everything we get down south, and then here for things up north. So this will be the Chad Metalworks 2. I don't know why World keeps coming out here. No, it's coal... what, there's no A in colliery? That can't be right. I thought it was based on the word coal. I'm pretty sure there was one around here that we... the game already named for us here. Oh dang, you're right. Double L-I-E. Unthinkable. Is it based on the word coal? Or have I been misled this whole time? Well, misled or not, it's set up. Let's get ourselves an easy peasy vehicle for it. We always like to still go for the maximum speed here, but it's going to be based or throttled by the maximum speed of our... Whoa, wrong one. Oh, I accidentally clicked on the right one. These things can go up to 120 kilometers per hour, so there's no point adding additional speed over that, although a little bit of power might go a long way. Tell you what do I use for the similar setup that I have over here? I just haul a little bit of scrap metal a short way from the Florida orchards, right? And you're 7 length too. Show me the info. Is that a Kelpie? It looks like a Kelpie. It is indeed. Kelpie helps because it's nice and short too. I was wondering if they had one here that showed length. The Kelpie was further up as I recall. There we go. Get ourselves a wee Kelpie. Get rid of that scrap metal one. And then get all those large cargo container. Oh, hang on. I didn't sort you by maximum speed, did I? Ah, you can go 160 with a bulk wagon. But the scrap wagon can carry so much more. Okay. In that case, tell me capacity here. Scrap wagon, 140, 48, carries coal. Then give me as many of these as we can, up to a length of 7, 6.9 will do, I suppose. There we go. Very simple. Fill yourself up there and dump it there and get to work. And that will begin the production of steel. I don't know how you make steel out of coal and nothing else, but there you go. Slight disadvantage to having my chat on my tablet here. The screen seems to time out every half an hour. I need to remember to punch it now and then. It's named after colliery, which is the Middle English for charcoal maker. I can't imagine this is charcoal that we're bringing out of the ground, but more power to them. You should get some very high ratings here, which will assist the vast amount of coal that we get. And I should sort myself out with the train that we need here. Doesn't help much that you're on the sort of wrong end here. Do I put another one in? I think I will. And this is still electrified, right? So I'll give you that and that. I just want my train coming out here and instantly going into the... Oh, that's estimated cost. I'm holding down the wrong button. There we go. And there we go. I want my train to pop out and immediately get to work, basically. Go there and fill yourself up. So, for this, it's not coal, it is steel. The sliding wagon does 60 units of steel. That's a fair whack. That's good. It might be a job for another Kelpie. Kelpie seems to do me well, so I may as well stick with it. Then again, its power is a bit low. I feel like it would have a hard time getting up there, since it has an actual distance to go. Tell you what, just tell me about introduction date, because that usually shows us the best one around. The Viking, the Stentor. Also goes 140 with massive amounts of power, so we're going to go with Stentor. And then get ourselves all of these sliding door wagons. What year is the sliding door wagon from? I don't think it says here. Still though, these guys are a length of 7, 6.8 will do. With a total cargo capacity of 600 tons of steel, I think you'll do me just fine. I want you to fill up fully at Chad Metalworks. Go for maintenance if the need arises. And then dump it all in Liberia. And then on the way back, get maintenance if needed. Simple as that. And we're going to need... Well, I'll start with 4 of you. It'll back up a bit, but if we're ever making too much steel, we can deal with that. But that is just one. I need at least the 3 different goods, so we maximize the steel output. And we've got this ore mine right next door. I would like to mix up the trains with the road vehicles for this. But it's such a short distance, another one of these quick back and forth trains is likely the best option. Oh nice, drive-through depots, yeah, I love them. I forget why I suddenly realized that I could do it, or why it became a thought, but Glad I did. How are we going to mix you two together? Should I have you as part of the colliery? There's really no need for it. Not the colliery, There's really no need to link you with this station. What I could just do is just slam you down here, and you down here. The Chad Furnace. You can get maintenance as you need, because you can figure that out yourself. And it also means that I can make my train. And actually, I could probably just clone you. Get rid of your orders, because you weren't intrinsically linked together. And just fill up on the ironstone and dump off in the furnace. There we go, nice and quick. Just like setting something up in Factorio, who would believe it? Don't you want your coal line to get engineering supplies? I'll see about that. Once I set up some initial iron ore, coal, and scrap metal, we'll go from there. There's even more coal to be had right here. I'll admit it's tempting, but it's a very small coal mine. I think I'd get a lot more out of getting gung-ho here than bringing this in, because what I've come to learn is that production rates don't actually Did that change? I feel like the number just changed while I was looking at it, saying that it doesn't change, but it might have been my imagination. These things do happen. I'm also getting bothered by these trees. Let's not bother with that anymore. Scrap metal. Where is it hiding? I do want it. That's just more iron ore, and holy smokes, that's a lot of iron ore. The numbers did change. Okay, I was trying to say the numbers don't change once you have an industry. It'll only go up or down if you get it to gung-ho or what have you. But then it did change, so I don't have an answer about how that works. Still, huge amount of iron ore to be had here, and I do want that down at the Chad Metalworks, so let's get it there. In fact, I have a funny feeling that I could just link you together with the Metalworks too, in a rather bizarre ad hoc setup here. Just need to bring you in like so. We'll get you here, and then once again, hang on, I just realized the train that I cloned isn't actually set up for the goods. Well, not the right goods at least. You need to be set up for iron ore. There we go. Just realized that when I had to clone this other one. But still, yes, clone that because it's for iron ore. And then your orders are a little different, but only a little. Fill up at Chad South, top it off there, and get going. As I said, we need one more ingredient to maximize the amount of steel coming out here. Not that any's coming out just yet, but the first colliery arrival is coming in agonizingly slowly. Yeah, it hurts that it's got that bend, and the Kelpie is not particularly strong, but it doesn't have far to go. Most of its time is going to be spent collecting the goods, and it's not going to hurt the ratings because there's not a big pause there. The ratings should be sky high. The main problem is the lack of speed, because you can't have fast wagons for coal and scraps, at least as far as I'm aware. It changed from 340 to 360. I need to look more into this and how it works. So, map of the world, help me out here. I need to find myself some industry, and that industry needs to be scrappers. So if we disable them all, look for scrapyard. There's not a single scrapyard in all of Africa. Huh. A little bit concerning. I really wanted some scrap over here, but I imagine any old world scrap would be better suited going down to Tierra de Fuegos. And since you're not coastal here, it's not very great for bringing scrap in through other means. Tell me, can you carry scrap? It says 600 tons, but I'm wondering if I make that sliding thing. No, it very explicitly can't take scrap metal. I was thinking about bringing scrap metal over to Liberia Industrial Yard and picking it up when they get here. But no, scrap imports. Sounds bizarre, since scrap is not that valuable, but it doesn't loot. Well, I say that, scrap is actually surprisingly valuable compared to other things. Here are all the goods. And scrap metal somehow beats 1, 2, 3, 4 other goods. And after maximum waiting time, it's actually one of the strongest goods, so don't know quite what to make of that. Still though, scrap metal. It's not impossible that some scrap metal would later spawn in Africa. Africa's a pretty young continent compared to everywhere else. Just weighing up my options here. There is some coastal stuff to be had. If I filled up big tankers and dropped the scrap off somewhere like Togo and just carted it over. Togo's a bit bad. If I had it come up through here, though, that wouldn't be too shabby. But then I'd be taking it away from a European furnace. Tell you what, we got a scrapyard right here in Labrador? Yeah, look at you there, Labrador scrapyard. Not that Labrador's that huge, the size of the city determines the size of the scrapyard. But I'm wondering if we couldn't just bring that over. You are frustratingly out of my range here. Okay, I'm determined to make this beating heart of Africa really beat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Labrador... Hang on, there's kind of a Labrador dock right here. Wouldn't be on... Hang on, do you just take that already? Yeah, it's practically there. Practically, but not quite there. I feel I'm above just using the extender bits by using little bus depots and the like. But it's so close and yet so far away. Maybe I should check if there's another viable option. Yeah, canal elevator up is another option, but it's a messy one for sure. Let's have another look at our map, if we will. I trust the stream is running fine. I have barely dropped any frames, which is definitely a good sign. Depends on what the other hotel guests are squeezing the Wi-Fi for, I imagine. Hello, we got a scrappy here. An excellent one. One big New York scrapyard. I don't know if it's currently covered by anything, but we'd be well situated right here for it. You don't grab it right now, but you certainly could. Actually, oh, you're so close to getting it there. Right, I'm gonna grab you here. I'm gonna make sure there's a free path to it, to the New York Boneyard. And then Jings, it's a bit of a trek for you, but I want this to work. What's the best way to get you over? I am thinking I could... There's eventually going to be naval traffic comes in through here, and it is still wide enough for it. So it might be time to start opening up the sea route over here, starting with the glorious scrappy iron. So to that extent, I think I get it here and either train it or truck it over to the other Libya dock. Fine by me. With their shoals, no less. Tunisia boy, Morocco boy. Gotta remember, we're heading over to New York. I'm boating here. And there's a Nova Scotia boy right there, so if we just have a bit of a path for them to follow. And then that should get them all the way over to... Now that's to Nova Scotia, come on now. Actually, if they follow the Quebec boy down to New York, I'll add another boy there for who knows what. And that should be alright. We'll give them an opportunity to heal up along the way. Ugly as these floating things may be, they do really help the boats not completely crap out on their journey. Could use planes, the transatlantic scrap routes. Oh, I know we just set up the boats here, but that might not be the worst idea. It's kind of unreasonable, but now that you've mentioned it, I rather like it. Well, let's go to one of our very few airports and see what they can do in terms of that. Let's say I wanted to move scrap metal. What are my options? Sort by introduction date, please. The Olympia Super Jumbo can carry 400 tons of the stuff. The Unity can handle 300 tons. It's cheaper, but a little faster. Now, surely we want the 400 tons of it. That's such a ridiculous thing. Let's do it. The Olympia Super Jumbo is on point. And it should be coming in and out of New York. I'd want it to bring stuff back. Food, alcohol, or passengers. I don't really think we can get any of those out of the Chad furnace. It's not unthinkable that I could bring passengers back if it was connected to Chad itself. This is a little ridiculous. Right, just a regular large airport should be fine. It accepts passengers, doesn't it? Alright, well, let's give it a go. If we put you down here, you can bring in the scrap metal. The Chad airport's getting worse and worse. And New York's airport. Next to that boneyard, of course. Okay, good. I guess we can kill the boneyard if we're not going to use it like that. This is ridiculous, but okay. We'll have you, and we'll give you orders. Should we have you full load at New York Airport? I think you should. I mean, the whole point is to grab all that stuff. And then we just want you to dunk it over in Chad. However, when you're in here, I want you to refit to scrap metal. When you are in Chad, I want you to just pick up what you can. Now, what can you pick up here? I'm a little fortunate that there is the hotel right here that will take food, alcohol, or passengers. The question is, which one could we really take? I think passengers. Just grab whatever passengers are hanging around Chad Airport. I don't know if there'll be many of them. I'm almost certain there won't be. But if and when Chad grows, the catchment will grow and there'll be more passengers to fling out by... Hang on, if Chad Airport was part of Chad Central, there'd be more passengers to fling over by plane. The problem would probably be that the plane would get overburdened. But... hell with it, let's just create more problems for ourselves. Just have to absolutely make sure that you're linked up to the beating heart of Africa. Which means there. No, 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 not Chad Airport. Not Chad Airport. Oh, I can't actually link you up with Chad Central. You're just a little too far out, it seems. Unless you're somehow connected out too far some other way. Let's do a bit of counting. We have 16 to play with here. It's just one off. One off. Now, hold your horses there. Is there some way around this? Why not boat New York scrap and fly over some inland scrap? Because there's no scrap being produced within... Oh, you mean inland in the US? Now that would make even more sense. But I'm trying to see if I can link this up. Let me see. Your large airport is length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 range. So you could be connected to Chad Central here. Your extra range means you still get to the beating heart of Africa. Yeah, there's nothing saying we can't have even more planes coming in to drop off errant scrap. I didn't think there'd be a good plane for it, but this super jumbo or what have you seems to somewhat fit the bill. So, getting back to you, New York Airport. I have actually heard that the non-metropolitan one has better... Oh. You're getting in the way here. I have heard somebody say that the Metropolitan Airport has worse throughput than the city one. Did I just crash the game? That is quite funny. The game will shut down. Okay, so one of the JGR features is being able to place an airport over another airport. But doing so just crashed the game. Okay, see if you can't emergency save. It apparently succeeded. Well, thankfully, OpenTTD is a game that reloads so fast. There it is already, I should hope. Autosave, save me now. February 99? That should be fine. I switched it to save every month rather than every year since we extended the length of the days so much. Okay. What did we get sorted there? Do we have the Chad? There we go, we got the Chad proper central airport here. Good, then we lost absolutely nothing except maybe 15 seconds. And we learned a lesson. Don't do that, basically. Get rid of you. Crush you. And let's try going for the large metropolitan airport here. Clunk. So, our scrap metal Olympia Super Jumbo. Full load at New York. Dunk yourself off at Chad. And just make sure that you are refit to scrap metal here. And on the way back, we want you to refit for probably people. How many people do we get in these? 400 passengers and 200 bags of mail. That's good. That can take both of them then. So if we tell you to refit to passengers, then you're going to pick up, but I'm not telling you to full load here. I'm just telling you to grab whatever. That should actually be quite good. We want 3, maybe 4 of them. Maybe 3 is for the better. Well, off you go. I'm keen to see how this this operates. If I can find you. So off you go. I don't know how good planes are for ratings. I think it's artificially suppressed. Rating here, scrap metal. It's already very good, and it's going all the way up to 90. Yeah, look at that. The speed rating on planes is suppressed enormously. Even though these things go at almost 800 kilometers per hour, the game is reducing that immensely. Now I don't know what is. Is it JGR? Is it FURS? Is it one of these other mods? Not sure. But it's of minor concern. New York just got an airport. Finally, I can fly to our colonies. Are you sure? Are you scrap? No, then you can't. It's okay. The colonies can fly back to us. Alright, I want to see this in operation. Fortunately, we can double click on this and follow along with the aircraft. Planes are actually throttled quite a bit in this. For one, this plane isn't actually moving in-game speed at 772. I think it's moving at about a quarter of that. If that's something you don't like, there is a setting for it. What is it? Is it like airplane speed? Here we go. Yeah, it's reduced by 75%. In fact, you can go all the way to make it go its actual speed. And then that functionally makes them quite a bit stronger. But I do want to see them moving fast like this, so I might just keep it on 1-to-1. Otherwise you'll have ridiculous situations like boats overtaking the planes. Well, this is good news for the Chadites who want to go to North America. I do worry though that it's going to funnel a lot of Africans to Chad in an attempt to get to anywhere in North America, because they'll see this as a very direct and useful line. So it might be after a while I don't do that and I have these only refit to mail. Just depends how bad the passenger problem gets. Anyway, you're unloading that. I'm curious how profitable this is. 300,000. Okay, it's definitely going to pay for the plane and then some. This thing has a very high running cost, but that should be a decent amount to pay it back. Off you go on the way back with... Well, you don't have any passengers or mail because the service wasn't registered. But there we go, at least the beating heart of Africa now gets all the goods supplied, and it produces a fairly respectable amount of steel already. In fact, it's so respectable that the... Wait, what are your problems? What are your problems? What do you mean waiting for free path? What have I done? What have I done? What's going on here? Don't tell me something like the go through service places is turned off. No, drive through train depots is on. What's their problem? They want to go to Liberia, but they can't do it. What's their problem? Also, why did they all come for service? Maybe I didn't connect this up some way, somehow? I'm at a slight loss. They want to go to the industrial yard, right? Or maybe I gave them the wrong place to go to. Yeah, that was the problem. I told them to go to Liberia Central. I don't want them to go to Liberia Central. I want them to go to Liberia Industrial Yard. So, delete that and go to Industrial Yard. Oof. Easy mistake to make, I'm sure. But whilst we're waiting on you, I'm actually going to add 2 more of you, because that steel is coming on out, and I want to make sure it's always getting transported. I don't know how much of that is backlogged due to the trains piling up or not, but over-servicing the trains is no big deal, because trains are cheap and cheerful. Alright, very good. That gets the beating heart of Africa started up. The question on engineering supplies is still there, because we have a couple of... Well, we have an ore mine and a coal mine, which, if they got some engineering supplies, would be outrageously good. But there's another question about the goods. This thing is producing, or will be producing, quite a bit of goods from the steel. It wants chemicals to do it even better. I could just bring the chemicals straight over from here. It's not very profitable, but it is very quick and easy to set up. Something to be said for that. I might actually just bring it from Industrial Yard over to here. Just a very quick, cheap and cheerful boat for it. The only purpose here is to increase the amount of goods that come out, because if they get both steel and chemicals, it's more. So if we go chemicals, if we go... I'm thinking the Oshima. It's pretty fast, and that's good for ratings. Yeah, I'll just give you a very, very simple task. Get chemicals, bring chemicals. I don't even expect this to be profitable, you're just there to service. You grab... I don't even think there were chemicals for you to grab, but there we go, now there's some. Grab chemicals, offload chemicals, barely any money, but now you're fully supplied, and you make loads of goods that go to nobody. So who wants goods? Liberia wants goods, but there's not really much point bringing goods very quickly, barely any distance, right? Moo and greetings, says Mordcalb. How fares your travels today? I'll still be in Budapest for another few days, and then I still haven't decided if I'm going back to Austria or seeing more of Hungary. That's a Saturday Jake problem, you'll figure it out then. What day is it today? Oh, Crivens, I think it's Friday. Right, goods. We like bringing goods down to Pernambuco. It's a fairly straight line. Honestly, it's hard to argue with that. The goods won't degrade that much heading this distance. And Fortunately, your coverage includes a general store, so you will always demand goods. Holy smokes, why are there so many people here? Over 7,000 people want to go to Bahia. That's just indicative of a lot of people wanting to go south, and that's because of people escaping Africa, coming to South America. I don't know how I'll eventually solve the sheer crushing amount of people that need to travel around these rails, but a future problem, I'm sure. For now, it's okay. I do want to move those goods, though. So I essentially just do the same line down, but with a goods vehicle. So yeah, get that done. I will take my new ships. I will say goods. The Great White what? The Great White Ferry. 650 loads of goods, or an immense amount of mail. 2,100 crates of goods. That's pretty huge. I like the sound of it, so we'll go with you. I want you to full load at the industrial yard, and then you need to come on down to this boy, and then drop the goods off, and then back to the boy. Now, how many of you that we're going to need, I really don't know, but I'll make 3 of you. I'll make 4 of you. Your capacity's so good it shouldn't be a problem, right? Yeah, hard to keep track of days at the best of times, but when you're traveling around it can be a real pain. Right, so whenever the steel comes in, whenever that steel comes in, there we go. How are we doing in terms of steel? Do I want yet more coming out of the beating heart? Okay, they're picking up steel pretty easily. The goods are coming in, aided by the chemicals, but it's mostly steel. Tons of steel and very few chemicals. Offloaded nice and quick. I wish I could give them priority stations to go into, and maybe there is, but if nobody is in this line, they should definitely come over to this part, because then they're doing the crossing without bothering anybody. Okay, have any of our goods vehicles filled up yet? Almost. There we go, off goes one of them. The steel continues to flow, as do the chemicals. The question is, do I want even more coming into the beating heart of Africa? It's not a lot of coal, but there is some coal to be had here. I'm just wondering if there's anywhere that has tons of stuff. Another steel mill. Sorry, we're not in the business for yet more steel mills. There's something to be said about flying in even more scrap, but I don't want to rely on planes that much, especially since somebody's told me I need to use a lot of zeppelins for one specific city. That's it, these trains are all backing up due to the lack of steel being produced here. What a daft concept. Just a little bit of engineering supplies would make these places skyrocket in the amount of the output. It's too tempting not to, so let's go and see where our best ports are. If we check for ports, we can see that there's one to the north and one to the south. That means you've got the engineering supplies coming out here. Of those engineering supplies, we don't use any of them, so how do we get the engineering supplies from there over to the iron mine and the coal mine? I could just have a cheeky little way of driving them along. Burkina Faso. Who called all these places? I'm not saying those ports are in ideal situations, but that's par for the course for a port. This port is actually more convenient because it doesn't have that far to go to get over and help these guys out. So I think I might make use of you. Flatten this part out just a wee bit, and then we'll have some very modest road vehicles bring these over. We'll see if I can remember anything about setting up a collector for this, and it will be collecting. I don't think anything will be brought back here. No good reason for it. Parallel is the answer, not series. I thought there was something to be said for Ceres, but in the end it has done nothing but betray me. And... oof, that's a little tough to swallow. I can't actually reach it from here, I need to push it all the way out there. In that case, never mind this. Should probably start with you, in fact. Might not want you there then, perhaps I'll put you here. This is probably overkill, I can't see myself needing all this just now, but I like to think I have the option. You come in through here and come back out. Even for road vehicles, I should be minimizing the amount of turning that they have to do because it does impact their maximum speed. So you come in, you will go one way through here. All of this just one way, keep it simple, stupid. They can use both sides on the one-way system, so that's fine. And this isn't one way, I highly doubt I need the throughput of dedicated one-way road lines, this sort of stuff. And then you're heading down here. Very good. This is actually quite a convenient way to just have engineering and farm supplies be driven down through Africa. You just come all the way down here. And we're actually going to tunnel for you, because all this is quite inconvenient otherwise. Well, this is a pleasant Friday surprise, says Ninja. All the streams are going to be surprise for a while. It's hard to know where I'm going to be, or if the internet is going to be stable, or any of these kinds of problems. So, shouldn't be too much to worry about here. I think I'll just have a branch off into you. I'd rather my branch offs were more severe, though. In that case, I can have you come around here. Get yourself over to there. It's just a drop-off. I can't imagine they need much for it, but I like to be ready with these sorts of things. And in that case, what do? We'll have you like so. I'll make sure this is one way. So they're only going to branch up there if they know they want to go that way one way. Same with you, just go one way up through that. You should be connected to that, nay bother. And then if this goes down to God knows where, then so be it. So be it. Give people plenty of opportunity to get themselves tended to along the way. There is overtaking, so I don't consider this as going to be a huge issue. I really, really like this JGR patch for letting me be able to fall in love with road vehicles again. So, engineering supplies. What's our best option here? It's the Goldmeyer courier truck that's been doing me well for so long because it reaches great speeds. And it's not articulated. I just have a real issue with articulated vehicles. I'm going to continue to use you then. So your job is quite simple. I want you to... Don't want you to full load here. Is full load going to be a bother? It may or it may not be. No, it should full load. Full load, absolutely. Full load and dunk it there. And I'm going to have 4 of you perhaps. And just get going with that. And then I'm going to make another one of you. And your job is quite similar. I want you to full load there. And I want you to dunk the goods over here. And again, we'll have 4 of you, and off you go. If this port ever gets any goods or China clay or food, then it'll go gung-ho on this. But those engineering supplies should be more than plenty to keep these guys okay. It's not unthinkable actually that I just haul all of this clay back there just to ensure the place stays gung-ho. 640 units of clay every 3 months should be doable. The way I see it, this kind of schedule is a return to the good old days. Yeah, easy to get complacent about it all, but once upon a time there was no schedule. A golden age, one could say. Whoops, that's certainly not what I wanted to do. I wanted to level this out and consider doing a drop-off. It's an excellent point, but drop-off and collection should be segregated. Because people often wait on the... people often wait on the pickup, not so much on the drop-off. So there we go. But I would want a waypoint here, wouldn't I? Hard to waypoint when you've done it like this. Can't put a waypoint on an intersection if I recall correctly, which I may or may not. Tunisia waterside, there we go. And this would be for the drop-off. As long as we put a waypoint in here. Waypoint. That's a waypoint, there we go. That means I should put a waypoint here just to make sure that these guys make their way around that as well. Ah! I decided it would be the same one. Separate waypoint. So this one should be Tunisia drop off. And this one is Tunisia collect. It's totally not necessary to be setting up all of this industry stuff. I make plenty of money, but making money is in itself a virtuous thing to do. So one should continue to make more of it. Plus it helps accelerate the building of cities. Even though I made plenty of money in the Americas, it didn't allow me to instantly build everywhere in Africa, which is why there was a delay on the southern cities, but they will be connected up. Yeah, poor Baron Von Own is still streaming a blank screen, I believe he was, just before I went live when I checked in on him. He's probably going to be quite embarrassed when he wakes up and sees that, but hey ho. I don't think I've made that mistake before, maybe someday though. Okay, what are the best vehicles for... Ah, well no, first things first, I need to grab you folk and tell you that you need to go to the Chad South via collection. Not non-stop, just make sure you go via there. And I won't have gotten all of you because there were 2 different batches of you. Yeah, there we go. Please make sure you go via the collection. Did I get it right there? Tunisia collect. No, no, no. I put it the wrong way. I meant to go there. Go via collect. Go to the water site. Right, I've confused myself here, so what I'm going to do is sort these guys by shared orders and just make sure they're both working out fine. I should have done this to begin with. Via collect, go to the water side. And via collect, go to the water side. Much better. So they're going to stop making these mistakes quite so much. Now, this one's not so much for engineering supplies, but for China clay. They are all articulated. No way getting around that. So Speedywell box truck seems to be the best option. I want you to... Oh, I didn't even set anything up for them to collect the goods here. Right, that's a somewhat important part of it. I'm also wondering if I made these as one way as I thought I did. I did not, of course. Vehicle in the way. Get out of the way. I can already see that they're being delayed too much because the production is not gung-ho here. But I'll sort that in by bringing in the glorious China clay. There we go. Much better. quite like the way these all feed into each other. I am under the impression that there is a more advanced version of furs here, or just more advanced industry, and I kind of would like to see that. Again, we'll have this fork out quite a bit because it's going to be here for full collection. And I don't mind too much about these inefficiencies. As long as you're going out that way, in this way, and then da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. I don't think I'll bring engineering supplies to here. There's no real need to have this going gung-ho. It's just China clay, it's not going to be very profitable, and it only serves to make this itself gung-ho, so never mind that. The Mali Pit. Okay, Speedywell box truck. You can't carry a lot, but I need you to do what you can. Full load that. And then going via the drop-off. Drop everything also everything off at the water side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you is probably overkill. But since this is off the beaten path enough, I can't imagine it's going to be an issue of clogging this road, even if all of them are backing up. What's your problem? Who even are you? I don't know, but go away. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The way it'll stack up here. I won't be able to get all of this. The rating isn't going to be very good for a while. Well, he says it's actually very good right now. And we even get a bonus because these zippy little articulated vehicles are actually quite fast. Games that won't go road vehicles and such murder on the ratings there. The production is enhanced, soon it'll be gung-ho, and then there won't be any shortage of engineering supplies. And remember, the whole point of doing this is that this colliery and this ore mine produce abusive amounts of coal and ore. Do you call coal and ore? Would you say coal ore? I don't know what the definition of ore is, truth be told. Anyway, as long as these trains are always able to stay on top of that, and it's the coal that concerns me more than anything, because look at that, it's piling up already, but he comes back and... oh, that's just perfect. Oh, and it's better than perfect for you, you just timed that so well despite it being a longer trek. So yeah, these trains don't make a lot of money. The whole point is to make that huge amount of steel, and hopefully we're always available to be picking it up. Got two trains coming in right now. Almost called them people. Sorry, trains are more important than people. This isn't good enough. I want another couple of trains. I always want to have somebody available to grab me those goods. Well, it's not goods yet, it's steel. But yeah, having blazing furnaces being the beating heart of every continent just feels right. And that's what we do here. We do what feels right. If it feels good, you can't go wrong. Learned too many lessons from Bob Ross here. How is Budapest? I love Budapest. I am not big on big cities, especially not capital big cities. But there's just something. It's not necessarily that cheap here, but the food is great, the people are friendly, the weather is fine, the sights are great. You don't have to go very far at all. In fact, 5-10 minutes of walking, you can go over to the Buddha part, and everything's nice and nature filled. This is my kind of place. And the nightlife is just stupendous. So we actually have tons of goods there, which I worry aren't being dragged out fast enough. So, although I didn't think I'd need this, let's go and grab ourselves more of these absurdly huge ships. Ah, well, one is on its way back right now, but even so, I am a little curious what kind of dosh these guys make, so let's follow one of them. Comes along with his 2,100 crates of goods. It's not particularly fast, but goods are worth excessive amounts of money. Takes a long time to offload it, but once it is offloaded, and I love the different look of the boat. Its offset of water changes, and sadly I can't read that because of the transfer there, but it looks like it was probably half of that profit this year, right? Well, it was over 1 million, I could count that much. 1 Missing anything from the lack of Hungarian, or does everyone know English? In Budapest, they pretty much all know English. Outside of there, nope, not a lick of English. It was a similar story in Austria. I was very hard pressed to find people that knew English outside of Vienna. But that's okay, German's a pretty easy language to at least understand the gist of what somebody's talking about when they're gabbing away at you. Okay, I'm sure there are certain imperfections with this ratio, and there are definitely more places that I could be suckling the goods away from. But this is a very good standard beating heart of Africa, and that goods money will help me fund Europe that bit faster and more aggressively. Still, we cannot move on to Europe yet, because we have all of the packs to still move around in southern Africa. We got as far as linking up everything to the DRC. Beyond there, well, how are we even going to do these guys? I think this map might give me a better idea of what to do with them. Turn off those industries, show me those. So we have this spine that runs down to South Africa. If we look at the packs, we see that there's no strain whatsoever going up and down this. So it's probably not a big deal however we bring them in. These little offsets have their own problems, but that is their problem to be had. America's getting real busy with all these foreigners coming in. I feel for them. And Jinx, California to Arizona's under intense stress. But I'm not worried about seeing that in North America now. We can come back and give that a pass later on. Living in Buda like a truce. No, heavens no. I don't think I'd want to live in Budapest. Even though it's lovely to come here, I would not be able to escape the stress of city life living there. I like to live in the back and beyond the nowhere. It's more my style these days. Right, how are we going to link you up? I could have almost a ring going around here, but there's a lot of little places to link up. And looking at it, are you doing alright, Madagascar? I feel like I messed this up somehow. You're all sorts of broken down. Are you actually going to go and get your mate? Why did you not get maintenance? Maybe you did and I didn't notice. I thought you said broken down, limited speed or something. Oh, well, maybe they're okay. Point is, Madagascar looks fine, but I do worry that they're not able to grow out from where they are. Just in case that is the case, I'm going to help them out by giving them a little bit of road down to here just so they can spread out. Do they need the same thing over here? I don't even think it's a question of need. I don't think they can, so let's just flatten this out a little bit for you so that you can be gone. I don't know how the AI decides to build its roads. If it's a 2x2 or a 3x3 segment, then it will continue on with no care about what else is around it, like we see in Greenland. I had my own extended roads offset by one, and Greenland didn't care. They were going by their original design. Love seeing that metro, just baking a metro into the city. Although it's so much easier to build it before the city expands. I also want to check and make sure that the planes are doing okay. I know I'm meant to be linking up Southern Africa, just putting it off for a wee bit. You know how it is. Holy smokes, the profit on you is pretty juicy bringing that scrap metal. But I suppose it's also bringing those passengers back. No mail, which surprises me. And it also slightly surprises me that there's not a huge amount of passengers or mail making use of this new plane link, but maybe that'll come in time. How are you doing in terms of grabbing the goods, though? Very good. There we go. And then scrap metal piles up. You come in. You go for your service. Drink up the scrap metal. Why was it at cost to bring passengers over here, I wonder? That's weird. Does the next one show that it's at cost? It's a minuscule amount of income, but well, a little bit of cost here and there is to be expected. Not everything is going to be a profitable line. In fact, some lines exist just to not make a profit because them just existing allows another very profitable line to exist. That's often the case with last mile transport, like moving over goods at the final hurdle or passengers and mail. DRC not growing is a weird one. Something I don't like about the setup of the DRC here whatsoever. This river gets in the way, the city itself gets in the way. Ooh, you're linked with DRC as well, so if I wanted to extend it, it would have to come out here and then go south. Angola, Namibia. These guys are already sticking out from the Central African Republic Central. Just trying to put in my head where things are going to go. Seeing all this white snow in the way, clouding my judgment as well. That's why I prefer to look at this. Zambia itself could actually be a central station and then fork out to these areas. That's not unreasonable. Or the DRC Central could be extended out in this direction and grab more of these. It doesn't seem to be that busy. How about you? Doesn't seem to be that busy either. Madagascar's never doing alright. No, in Plague Inc. it does amazingly well. I'm trying to think of something a little different to do here. What I would like is some way to cycle all these folks and then ship them off either to the DRC Central or down to South Africa Central, because I somewhat suspect later on South Africa and maybe Egypt are going to connect over to the Far East, although I don't know how that's going to go. It could even be that the more central point is somewhere like Tanzania. Somalia would have been an option, but I already forked it out like that. So if the DRC Central extended out this way, and then had some kind of double circle around here, how would that even look? It would just be trains going straight around in a circle both ways, kind of like a very large tram network. Right, I think I know what I want to do now. Probably going to be a mess, but let's do it anyway. For this next trick, I will want dedicated high-speed rail. I'm surprised the monorail isn't available yet. I thought the monorail was meant to be available in 1999. Still, dedicated high-speed rail, 6 tracks, 5 length. This game looks interesting, says Hello. This game is very dangerous if you like it, because it's the kind of game that you will find yourself powerless to stop playing. I've had a fair few YouTube comments to that extent. People who just cannot resist the siren's call of this game, and they're right, because it's a very good game. Right, let's slam these down first, so we'll have you come in here. We shall need to deal with you as well. That hotel could not be in a less convenient location. Extremely inconvenient even, to the point where I'm going to need to make an inner city thing for Namibia just to connect this up. I could destroy the hotel, but I have vowed to try to avoid doing that. There you go, there's your Namibia Central. I need to make sure to rename these to Centrals. Botswana does not have a central here, even though the line runs right through them. What I reckon I could do is level this out a bit for them. I have this somewhere like here. Might be a little difficult how I do this, but I would like to somehow be able to tunnel underneath Botswana. Oh, I didn't capitalize the B. There we go, sorry. You are a real city. It updated that, so that's good to know that they are linked like that gameplay wise. Not doing South Africa here just yet. Lesotho and Swaziland are so close to each other that they can share. They can both get some inner city service over to this one. And then it comes through here, turns north. We're not doing Zimbabwe. I don't know why I agreed to this, but I was told to service Zimbabwe 100% with Zeppelins. Zeppelins are slow, crap, awful airplanes. But I'll have to make do. From there... How are we doing this then? Angola itself will probably run north to here, which will serve Burundi and Rwanda using inner city stuff, buses or trams or whatever. And then from there, Mozambique and the Rwanda woods are going to link up to Tanzania. None of these are terminuses, they're all going to be run through stations. There's terminology for this, I'm sure, but it goes over my head. I'm not big on this. I need a decent amount of space to work with, and I do need a connection to the water because I foresee this... What do I foresee? I foresee this being something that sails off further at some point. So I guess I'll put you here, although it doesn't connect up much with Tanzania itself, does it? Damn Tanzania, why you have to be so far away from the coast? Doesn't matter, it can all be improved with inner city stuff. I'm going to make sure that you are pre-connected to here. So first things first, we're going to rename them all properly. I do have a name convention that I do really use. Central. Naffle pointing out that yes, this game will suck you in if you let it. And I did let it, I shouldn't have given it the keys to my heart. I'm actually going to call you the exchange because you do exchange between Burundi and Rwanda. Here's your central Angola. It's a bit of a time machine of a game as well. If you have something to do, or rather time to kill, just fire this game up and watch it all go away. I was playing this on the way to... On the train journey from Vienna to Budapest, I was like, 2.5 hours? Who's got 2.5 hours? So I just fired it up and I started labeling all of the Russian places, and before I knew it was halfway to Budapest. I also ran out of battery though, because I didn't notice where the charger was in the train. I only noticed it right towards the end. Such is how it goes though. Right, to Botswana, to the Swaziland exchange, and the Mozambique Central. Let's capitalize that C. Come on now. I'll blame it on using a laptop keyboard rather than my usual one. Right, dedicated high speed. Let's get you running between them. Although I like the look of the map more than the temperate one. This is a sub-Arctic or something. This snow texture really screws in my eyes. I find it hard to see. And I'm meant to have laser enhanced eyes. So let's see if we can remember how this works. What is what in terms of leveling here? There we go. Oh, there we go. I can certainly see that. Now, we're going to be coming out this way and then getting together, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So I need this kind of network running through all of this. How they move around and such, I don't quite know yet. But we'll figure it out. For example, you're going up to Tanzania Central. So actually it would be kind of cool if you went up like so. And you can come out to play. Let's see, they'll cut up and go along there. It's not get ahead of ourselves though. Angola needs to meet up with Rwanda first. And the question always comes up, yes, this is banished music playing here. I thought I saw something different on the 4. A concrete viaduct, it looks exactly like the other one. I might have to go back on this bridge mod, but I think I might break things if I tear it out. It's not quite as good as I had hoped it would be. I'll make all this, then I will put in the stations for maintenance. Okay. Over to Angola. Always got to remember they come out one first, so I can put in the signal, and then they get together. This, however, is unacceptable. Yeah, it comes in like so, and then ups the daisy. You would think to just hop in for 30 minutes and it's sunrise before you know it. Again, yeah, this game, it's addictive. And it's very satisfying. I like sitting back and looking at what I've created and just watching it hum away, seeing all the trains going along. It's a very similar feeling I get out of playing Open Roller Coaster Tycoon. Now there's a great game, and I am tempted to find an excuse to fire that up and be streaming it again. That's just how it goes. So many games, especially now with Vicky 3 out, and that RimWorld expansion. Heaven help me. In that regard, I couldn't have picked a worse time to be traveling around here. But it's just how it goes sometimes. We get away. You just come out by one and merge together. And then hopefully I've given myself enough space around you. There we go. And then we need to get you somehow over to Angola. Righto. Actually, this would be a little bit easier if we just brought you straight down and across like so. I'll put in maintenance stops later on. I'm not concerning myself with that. Concerning myself more with that rapidly inflating wallet of mine. Okay, we've broken the $500 million barrier for making money each year. Will you try Settlement Survival, Jake? If I recall, it just came out of early access, so I don't have a no early access rule against it now, if that is the case. I got an email about it. It's just I don't really have a lot of time to be trying out new games, especially when this is still on the agenda, and there's still quite a lot to be done here. At least the pace is increasing, or one would hope it's increasing. With a bit of luck, I'm going to find some backwater Austrian or Hungarian village, and I'm going to think, oh man, this place actually sucks, but I've already booked myself for a week here or whatever, and then I'll just spend all my time plugging away at a stream. That would be a pretty good outcome in my opinion. I feel like Tanzania is too big for its boots. I am slightly tempted to just crush the place. There you go. That's what I think of your city. The other one here, though, there's no need to be quite so cruel, although a little bit of cruelty is a kindness. That's on the approach, so I actually need you to... Ooh, no can do. No can do. I can't have 90-degree turns. It's absolutely verboten. That doesn't change the fact that that's a turn there. How about something like so then? It's a little hideous, but that can do. Yeah, I'm sure it won't hurt the throughput that much. Famous last words. As for you coming in this way, so that'll be fine. Go to a cemetery on Tuesday or Wednesday evening, Jake. They're lit with thousands of candles this weekend. I'm not one for skulking around cemeteries. What's the occasion? Not really what I'm travelling around for. Travelling around for castle ruins, which has been great fun, man. I really enjoy going to see castle ruins. It's not exciting in any way, but it makes me feel alive. Right, out you come. You'll need to be coming out by 1. There we go, that should do us just fine. I'll link you up too. Can be a fair bit of work doing all these PAX networks, but seeing them all operate feels so good. Get you along here. Don't worry, Africa, I am elevating you for your own benefit as well as mine. Mostly mine, though. The money is good. Makes one wonder if one should even be charging for moving people around by rail. It's a service. Be like charging people for firefighters. Then again, people are scum. Make it free, they'll just exploit it. Although maybe I'm projecting. I don't think I am, though. I do really come to appreciate how easy it is to travel around in Europe, though. Boy, is it easy. Right, Swaziland, your exchange is up. Out you come. Let's just demolish whatever interesting landscape we have here. Now you're going to be... Hang on, I think I got this the wrong way around. Since you're coming out this way, you're the one that actually needs to... You are the one that needs to be out by 1 before you do a bit of merging. It's no big deal though. Probably less of a deal than I'm making it to be. So regarding settlement survival, yeah, I just need to go and fire it up and find some time to check it out. Being busy is a curse. I don't enjoy it. But I do enjoy all this traveling. What I also need to do is sit down and do some video editing, so I've been taking videos of castle ruins, which I do intend to make some sort of video upload out of, so that I can say all this has been a very important work journey for me. Hopefully the Swedish Tax Authority will buy that. How are you guys coming across here? I don't want to just flatten absolutely everything. That would be very unfair on the poor Africans. Don't know what I'm going to do with Europe though. It's going to be getting tight in terms of putting all these people together, or all these lines together. Right. Can you snake your way along here? Not quite, that's still not high enough. So to that extent, maybe I'll actually do the unthinkable and raise terrain. Perhaps raise it a little earlier. And from there you can come down and along, provided this was more leveled out. There we go. With this game, and certainly with Roller Coaster Tycoon as well, perspective can be a killer. How are you approaching on this one though? You're just entering from here, so you can... Well, you don't have to care so much, just get in there. Da-da-da-da-da. Easy peasy. And with that, just about done. Just need to hit up Botswana and back into Nambia, signal it, and away we go. Of course, they also need their split-offs, because this is just connecting them with each other. It's not connecting them with the Pax Americana, which is a vital aspect of this. By the way, Botswana, those people, they didn't deserve better. We can do better than this though, can't we? Yeah, there we go. Now that's nice. No need to intrude too much. Let's bring you up a bit. Tunnel our way through here as well. Slight concern actually is that you guys need to go in one a bit, so I'm actually going to push this back by one. Since you come through on the way out, you need the extra tile for signaling. Just imagine this game with blueprints. But then what, your own personal roboports to have them all built? Jake, notable castle vlogger. Well, it could turn into that. Well, it will. There will be a bit of that. I don't exactly know how the format is going to be. It'll be quite experimental. But I had my fun going around them. It's also amazing the kind of quality you can get out of the likes of a GoPro these days. It's so tiny, but everything comes out very clear. A marvellous age we live in. Right, and with that, Botswana to Nambia. Let's go. Oh, of course I gave myself a very unpleasant area here, but let's not worry about that. I just have to have a bit of an approach. Where'd that girder steel go? Oh, right, I had it sort by. Yeah, I think it's bridges all around it's necessary here. How sad. In you go. This isn't any deal here. It's not going to impact the throughput whatsoever on the way out. I suppose as long as it's adequately signaled, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And it will be signaled. I don't really know why I have a penchant for old castle ruins, and it is ruins. I got no real love for staffed castles where you go there and you can get the tour and go to the gift shop and pay your entrance fee. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the key point right there. Who pays? But I like the bit of danger in it as well. Crumbling walls, climbing around on the ramparts. No one's gonna stop you. Fair bit of that. My mum's gonna have kittens when she sees the footage. Not even that dangerous, but you know, if you fall, Christ, you'll be lucky if you just break your bones. Okay, there we go. Got the loop done. Question is, how does this loop connect back into anything else? I have gotten all the cities. Now... yeah, I probably should have put a bit of thought as to how all this comes together. It could be that the DRC has a split off, or just a direct run into Rwanda. Probably Tanzania, rather. It'd be nice if the DRC just had a run over to Tanzania. But that makes no sense. They should probably do DRC to Rwanda and South Africa to Swaziland. And that'll link it all in. It means that if somebody is in Angola and wants to go north, they just go Angola, Rwanda, DRC, and off they go. Whereas if they want to go south, well, they'll go here and then down to here. Or actually, they'll probably go here, here, then down. I don't know, but I'll give them the options. More options should put less stress on the throughput as long as the options themselves are viable for people. Jake, Swedish tax man is paying. Yeah, cheers. That's not the case though, it's just hopefully meaning that this is a less destructive thing on the bank account. We'll see what the Swedish authorities have to say about that though. With any luck they say nothing. Right, so the enjoyable thankless task of signalling it up. Thank goodness for auto-signaling. And there's no turning around on this whatsoever, it's like one big old tram network. Have you in here? In fact, I will actually want them out as close to this as I can get them. Yeah, screw it. Let's not sweat the small stuff. As long as it's all going around in the correct direction. Hello! And this is why we do second passes. Through you go, no problem. Out you go, out you go. And round. Yeah, I did this wrong, but it won't affect throughput anyway. Well, I struggle to imagine a way that could affect throughput. Coming down and around. What's your name, son? Swaziland Exchange. Also, why does this go completely invisible when that goes away? That shouldn't be the case. There we go. Still want to be able to make out that it is the Swaziland Exchange. Let's see. You're coming along here. Again, we need the signals on the way out. Continue your merry journey. Another one. Signals on the way out. Continue your journey. Signals all the way down here. I want them to be able to stop there and not waste so much time getting up and moving. I'm pretty sure this patch has less stopping and starting on trains than the vanilla game does. Alright, that's sweet, and then we just have to do it the other way around. Remember, we're going anti-clockwise now, or counterclockwise. I don't know where one or the other is said. Ultimate goal of life to be a notable castle vlogger. The notability doesn't matter as long as I enjoy myself. Which might be a little bit of trouble when it comes to making them because I don't have much of a penchant for... Oh no, we do not want these signals, that's just going to cause throughput issues. I don't have much of a penchant for video editing. There was one big reasonable bit of video editing I ever really did in my life, and that was the condensed version of the Ryukyu World Conquest. I'll never forget putting that one together. I was up until God knows when, the middle of the night on... It was either Christmas or New Year, one of those times, and I told myself I'd get it done that year. And well, the year was fast approaching its end. I got it done though, and I gotta say it was pretty well put together. I can tell rewatching it though that I did it all in that one night. I can hear myself getting thirstier as I go on. I noticed the points where I didn't actually understand what I was talking about, or I started mentioning something and the video was actually showing something else. I was like, oh, let's salvage the situation. Still, it's good fun. I like situations where you have to think on your feet. Okay, lastly, and one would hope leastly, we need to give these people adequate opportunity to heal up along the way. So... that is much more space than they'd ever need. I don't like overdoing it with these kinds of stations, so I won't give them terribly much. I'll probably give them one set of stations on both sides. And if they end up slowing down and causing all sorts of throughput issues, well, that's just too bad for me, isn't it? So if there's one around here, and say one around here, I think that'll be plenty. The pros would almost certainly disagree, I'm sure. Get you up here, get you there and there. Is it even going to fit in there? Oh, maybe. Ooh, I love coming here. There we go. Made a terrible mistake. I didn't signal to one of these that I did before, but okay. Get your one way there. You're coming out this way. Make sure I have the signal right on the part there. Get them as close to the main line as possible before they start feeding their way back in. And of course, the one that I put up here. There's no point not just putting it out like so. Met a couple of Swedes in the bar last night. I'm actually surprised at myself that I didn't go on a tirade about all the things I don't like about Sweden. Okay, this will do me just fine. Now to set up something resembling a PAX route for it. I still only have this helm wind available. The options of these are pretty poor, truth be told. Hey, monorail's around. Maybe I could just instantly switch it over to monorail. Now we're saving monorail for Europe. That's how we'll get it done. Okay, how do I normally do these again? Is it really just 1, 2, 3 for passengers, 2 for mail? Just so little capacity on this high-speed dedicated one. Oh well, eventually we'll have better monorail and even maglev. Okay, how do you operate? I want you to... Where are you even actually? You're inside here, so of course you're going to go to Angola, then Rwanda, Tanzania, Mozambique, get maintenance if needed, Swaziland, oh god, I lost my bearings, Botswana, Nambia, more maintenance if needed, and back to Angola. How many are you going to have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30 should do. And of course, make sure that you automate auto-segregation. Separation. Save the segregation for the other games. You'd still be at... Oh, I could have been at the bar a long time, but they did actually start closing things down about 2 AM. The whole place closes down by 4. I think I was out of there by 3. Right, 1, 2, 3. It's okay though. I'm not expensing that before the Swedish taxpayer starts getting all uppity. I'm not making you pay for my drinks. Right, to Nambia, to Botswana, to Swaziland, maintenance if needed. To Mozambique. Tanzania, Rwanda. I wonder if Tanzania gets mixed up with Tasmania often. Me, I find myself tripping over it, wanting to say that. Okay, that seems quite agreeable. And again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Go. But again, there are a few problems. There's no inner city for a lot of these, so they barely connect to the city, and they don't actually connect to the Pax Americana. So how did we say we would do this? South Africa doesn't have a lot of room to connect up to these guys. And look, Lesotho and Swaziland don't actually connect to this at all. We'll get that sorted though. What should South Africa have? A 4-way or even a 6-way? I don't know how many people are going to want to make this route. But I do know I don't have a lot of space for it. I barely got space for anything here. I could rip these apart. South Africa would lose its inner city. But the inner city for South Africa is really sad as it is. Very, very sad, in fact. to link up. Really, why would I even link up to South Africa? What do they gain by that? I suppose the gain is that someone from Botswana doesn't have to go through Nambia and Angola and Rwanda to get to the DRC and get on the main line. But this is actually a pretty good throughput ring, I dare to say. 60 trains, 30 going one way, 30 the other. Should be pretty good. So honestly, I might get away with just linking up Rwanda to the DRC. Don't know how much the DRC is going to like that. Probably not much. And a bit more. Yeah, I think I might just do a 6-tracker. Connect the DRC out that way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is this still going to work? There we go, DRC. I'm going to build them one line at a time, that way we don't have the ceiling over it, and I find that a really easy way to differentiate between lines. Slight problem is this river, and by slight I mean quite big problem is this river. I can bridge over it, and I can also go under it. But one way or another you need to connect to Rwanda. Don't tell me I'm making regular railway, not dedicated high speed here. I want these to be dedicated high speed. There we go. As a Swedish taxpayer, I'm getting awfully suspicious about your whiskey tasting videos. Most of those whiskies I already own and have paid for, so don't worry. In fact, I don't think I've ever expensed a single whiskey. Barely expense anything, really. High time I got my piece of the pie. How are we going to do this then? Maybe I shouldn't have you going out this way, maybe I should have you come out this way. A lot more space and a lot easier to... it just makes more problems, I'm sure. Right. I do think it's better though, so let's do it. Missed a spot. I find it very fun to make these large connected stations. And it gives me something to chew on thought-wise whenever I go around real-life ones. You find all these different stations with different ways of connecting. Some have vast underground ways that you gotta walk around. Some have their own mini electrified ways of getting around within their large stations, or at least the travelators, which is I think what you call the electrified walkways. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's just not enough space thanks to this accursed river. The Rwanda exchange continues to be a tricky one. I could have it over here. That simply causes its own problems though. Didn't I say maybe I should have it go over to Tanzania though? Because Tanzania is going to have the connection to the water. In fact, it already does. It's not unthinkable. If I could somehow squeeze it in here. Easy does it. Don't mind me, I'm just treading all over your land here. Then I could have my 6-track, 5-length there. Flat land required, I'll give you all the flat land you want. Ooh, we might not love coming here. This is going to be awkward, but... what if we just carve our way through the lands here, and we do our switching before we even come into here? Yeah, that just creates further problems, but we can get it sorted, I'm sure. This is weird, but okay. The crisscrosses would look like that, right? So you come along, you go into there, you come along, you go out like that. Yeah, that looks so wrong, but I think it works. Okay, there we go. That's just a case of filtering you. It's a relatively clean shot to get over there, so that should work out, one can believe. So the main one's going to come into here, and one way or another get themselves down to there. As for you, you are not going to accept the existence of that. Okay, does this work? Does this make anything resembling sense? I think it might. You come in, you can go that way, you can go that way, and you can go that way. Coming out all merges together. Wow. That went smoother than anticipated. Have them come in like so, have them come out happily as can be. It's very hard to tell which signal goes on which bit of track there, but it seems to work out. I'm often told I over-signal this part, but there we go. I want everybody to be able to get out whenever, wherever. And now we could tunnel to our heart's content coming out of here. He says, but there is a limit on the size of tunnels, so perhaps not. I could go over it. Don't get to see nearly enough trains going over these mountains, and surely the dedicated high speed has the power necessary to do this. Certainly have the power to destroy our way through to Rwanda. Get out of here. That's just a case of making our way into the DRC. Yeah, I reckon you can straighten yourself up right here for the big approach. Okay, well this is the standard approach, so this should be the easy part, right? Come in through here. Don't know how that ended up there. Come along. I think you need to go about one more, give the bridging an opportunity. I find the bridge is really handy to get in early because it gives a good frame of reference. There we go. Might be longer than necessary, but it still seems to work. Go out and out and out. In, in, in. I like to put just one bit of signal on there to allow trains to back up if need be. Excellent, get this done in the inner city, and that's all of Africa connected to the Pax Americana. Including Madagascar, they will not escape the Plague Inc. Very satisfying, just getting it set up. Now, how about maintenance? Will need to be done. I think this might be our best shot for it right here, actually. Need maintenance. Take it here. This might end up being a little awkward on the throughput, so hopefully, yeah, coming in here you're going to delay trains behind you if you don't get in fast enough. But I have a funny feeling you'll be alright. There we go, get trains as close as they can in case anybody is holding up the show. Splendid. In that case, I can just clone one of these earlier trains that I made. Delete all the orders because it wasn't a clone train with shared orders. And you go DRC to Tanzania and maintenance if needed. Okay, thank goodness I managed to mute myself in time for that sneeze because we are not running with any kind of noise suppression on the microphone. You would have heard every bit of it. So glad that didn't happen. So cloning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of you should suffice here. Probably going to be more than necessary, it's not a long route. But that now connects up this big loop to the Pax Americana, get them their inner city, and we're good to go. Good to go, he says. How are we going to connect them up? Found myself quite enamoured by the road vehicles of late, but I haven't built myself a tram in what feels like forever, so hard to say no to the glorious tram lobby. We get rid of you and bridge across with our little concrete tram. Doesn't need to be anything fancy really, just get you around like so. Make sure that there is maintenance aplenty for you. And, well, yes, stations are a must as well, let's not forget. Could you hear that? I'm just so not used to having background sounds not filtered out, but the lovely, friendly people of Budapest just putting a light toot on their horn, probably just to show their fellow Budapester that they adore them. Right, there we go. And no, we're not bringing China Clay around. The Twin Hill 1990 180 passenger 96 km/h tram. Sign me up. Should be pretty simple to just go there, there, and there. I'm even going to have 2 of them on an automated separated timetable. And then we just get the mail, which can do the same. Can you take those same things, but instead Rwanda exchange to the road depot, then Burundi, and 2 of you. Swell. Get on out there, I want to make sure that works fine. Ah, of course, because I cloned them, they're sharing the order there, but they change around once they go in for maintenance. Hang on, did I not tell the maintenance to be... Oh, it's probably better if they go in for maintenance, whether they need it or not. It's very quick, and it just ensures that they're all on the right path. Excellent, though. That gets Burundi done, but remember it's the Rwanda exchange, so Rwanda needs a bit of love as well. Any plans for playing Victoria 3? Absolutely. I do want to play Victoria 3. I'm just at a very inconvenient time in life right now for doing that. How are you coming across here then? Do we just have you come down and over like so? I haven't been catching much about Vicky 3. It still feels weird to say Vicky 3. It's like the 2 words I'm not allowed to say ever, but now not only is it it's real, it's out there. Kinda crazy. Anyway, I've got it, I just haven't had the time to be playing it. It's something that I really need to sit down and chew at, not really something I can just fire up on the laptop when I'm riding around in a train or whatever. You connect up with Rwanda, and we do the similar for you. So the exchange to there, 2 of you automated, and then passengers with a Twin Hill. You do the same thing, except vehicle depot gets switched. Clone you, and off you go as well. bit of a shame that we can't hear the ting noise of the trams. And even though they're going the same path right now, after they fix themselves there, they'll take the different routes. And that's what I really love about trams. I suppose it's not that difficult from road vehicles, right? Road vehicles can go opposite ways, fine and dandy, but with the trams you can force them to be where they are. And I do like forcing people. Yeah, I fired up Vicky 3 and was playing as Brazil for a bit. They just feel like the right nation to play as for a first time. But I didn't get enough time to really see what it's all about, much as I would like to. Right. It's close, but no cigar when it comes to the connection here. Tell you what though, I will, out of the goodness of my heart, bridge over here. And you're just going to get a nice little one for road vehicles. How's that gonna work for you though? I'll get you a couple of wee zippy ones that can just use this. So Tanzania Central already extends out pretty far there. I can't connect it. Not there at least, but I could probably... Can I get it here? Can I get it here? Oh, barely. Okay, in that case... I'll future-proof myself a bit here. Looks like Tanzania's on the 3x3. So this is going to be a bit of a redundant road. It's definitely going to come out like that, so what's a man to do? I suppose I could connect it up like so. There's no real winning in this situation, but whatever, just make it a complete mess. But if that's going to be part of Tanzania Central, then we need... Let's see... You there and you there to just be part of Tanzania Regular. Coverage could still be better though. I know. I'll help them out yet more by bridging over this, connecting them up like so, and just making Tanzania a larger station. And I don't know how many vehicles this is going to need, but probably a fair few. It's very simple, just go from these places. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Automate your separation and get the... Ooh! I've always liked the Goldmire, but now we got the little Duke. It is faster, more modern, more likely to break down. I like it, let's take it. Similarly, go between these. 2, 3, 4. 4 should be plenty. There's not a huge amount of mail that goes comparative to passengers. Get them all activated. I do miss the little brass monkey, but I think I still have some of them floating around. Please, Jake, I know I keep joking about you building train lines as if you're playing OpenRCT, but that train approach to Tanzania is just something else. You probably mean as if you're playing Open... Oh, you did say Open Roller Coaster Tycoon. You telling me there's something wrong with this? I'm pretty sure it's identically functional to any of the other... Oh, then again, maybe you mean this one. Heavens knows what you mean, but I'm sure we've got something that works just fine here. There's a bit of stop-starting with the trains, but that's probably just because I've oversaturated the line. But that's okay. Look at the great service we're giving these people. Nobody's piling up in Tanzania. There's always a train waiting for you. Imagine coming into the station, and look at that, 4 trains available for you, with a 5th one coming in. Now that is service. Service I've certainly never seen in the UK. No, you mean the south one. Ah, you're talking about this one? It's the many ups and downs east of Tanzania. There's not much east of Tanzania. Right, we got that, but there's still more inner cities to do. Mozambique Central. Oh Christ, I didn't even notice Mozambique there. I just noticed Malawi. Okay, that actually means that this is the Mozambique exchange. I don't know, I've been very good on my terminology for exchanges. Interestingly enough, you cover just enough of Mozambique to help it grow? Tell you what, since Mozambique is on the coast... Oh, there goes my chat. There we go. You can still see it. It's not so easy to catch the chat on the tablet, but I do try. Still though, I may want you to be a dock at some point. I mean, it might help with Madagascar to have Madagascar sail over here instead of bleeding Kenya. Or rather, as well as Kenya. That might not be a bad idea. What is this? An 80km/h fast ferry. I don't know, in the end the Ducat is just so superior to damn near everything. The only real downside is its massive running cost, but we are so money we don't even. So 4 of you run that, and 2 of you run the mail. I suppose the Ducat isn't quite so hot. No, actually, now it does 400 of mail. Must be the Shark upgrade for it. Okay, still, the Ducat gets going. Ducat copies those orders. There'll be 2 of them also automating themselves out. Now get going. Hopefully they can spread out. It's not that long a distance for a boat to go. But I'm curious, the boats with auto-separation can be a real hit or a miss. Like, this is exactly what I don't want. I don't want them keeping together like that. There we go, that's more like it. And hopefully somebody pauses back here as well. Yeah, there we go, that's what I need. Regular service. Help those Mozambiques grow. How about you, Malawi? Station 2 spread out for that. That is very funny. However, I could still Mozambique exchange you over here. Can I also Mozambique exchange you over here? Oh hell yes, excellent. I love to see it. Even if others do not. Come on, you can do it. You can be in bloody queue it. There we go. Sweet. Right, bring these Malawi folk their mail. Ooh, Chings haven't given me good opportunity for giving them the services they demand, and I have no idea what the road layout the AI is trying to do for it. Well, I'll just bring them something and see what sticks. How about you get yourself this, and this, and then we very simply give you your maintenance right around. It's a big old building. No good place for the maintenance, so... Oh, no. Tell a lie, that is perfect for it. Little Duke. Cute name as well, Little Duke. Go between the 2. Automate your spreading out. We'll have 2 of you. And then the action... Wait, do I really want the action coach? The Topley is slower, but has so much more capacity. That's about half this. No, I think Action Coach is better. Reminds me of Action Man, the greatest hero of them all. There we go. Now these are not amazing inner city services for these people, but it's just to keep them connected to the greater network and to ensure that they grow. Swaziland needs to do the same for Lesotho and Swazi itself. Swazi's crying out for a tram station thanks to its orderly 2x2 setup. And I can anticipate where it's going to have those 2x2s and build these in accordingly. And how are we going to deal with you? I'm thinking you here, you here. These 2 connected up to Swaziland straight up, and the maintenance will be right here. So let's do it. Twin Hills, Swaziland Exchange, to there, to maintenance. 2 of you please, spread yourselves out. And then for the mail, copy it over, move the depot stuff, clone you, and go. Feels good to be able to just bash those out quite quickly, and then off they go and work. Also feels good to somewhat understand the logic behind how I do this, rather than just keep throwing more trams at a situation and hope that it helps. Which I don't think it does so much over in Greenland, or maybe in Tego de... oh Christ, what was it called again? Terra de Fuego, I think. One or both of these has some severe issues with backing up people. They all want to get into the city proper, but the trams just cannot keep up. They need a metro. I think you start getting this population, and you want everybody going around, you need a metro or multiple stations. At least the station's getting people out of Terra de Fuego easily enough. But when they want to go to their own plazas, different story. Ah, there we go, Sass was talking about the west. Remember, never eat shredded wheat. You'll never forget your northeast, souths and wests. I want to have a quick dip back into the beating heart of Africa. We set it up earlier. We seem to be on top of the steel. The coal is not backing up and the ratings are outstanding. The iron ore looks like it's backing up, but I think you get there just in time to grab it all. The ratings seem okay with it. In you go. And then you just drink it up. Perfect. Oh, better than perfect. It's not half bad. They're both on gung-ho. The ore mine up here is not gung-ho. Do I want it to be gung-ho? It's certainly tempting, isn't it? I can't see any reason to make you larger than that if you're just barely dropping anything off, so... let's do it like so. And then let's grab the engineering supply. Well, I guess we're using Little Duke over the gold mire now. It's reasonably faster, so 20% faster there. So going via the collection way, we want you to maximum full load and then offload it at the ironstone, and I reckon 2 of you should suffice. Get to it. Okay, what are the capacity of these guys? Only 25, that's about 50 on a journey. These guys want 80 every 3 months for gung-ho production. How many do I normally bring to these guys? Wait, you guys get 10? Ah, no, that's 10 for bringing out the China clay. Definitely not the same thing. I have 4 bringing it over here. I hope that we're actually able to keep up with the engineering supplies here. Oh, that and then some. It's actually hurting the rating massively. That's amusing to me, so I'm actually not going to think twice about doubling up on those. They don't make us any real money, so I'm not looking to just drain this of engineering supplies for here. It's just good to know that we grab as much as is needed. Those engineering supplies could be very useful for Europe once they start popping up with some real industry. Righto, a few more to connect up here. Lesotho for one. I think it is Lesotho rather than Lesotho. I've got a buddy of mine who's big into Africa, for reasons that largely evade me. Given the layout here, I would actually rather just do it by road vehicle. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then out, and then 1, 2, 3, and then huzzah. Into that Swazi exchange. You too. And you would want to come back up here, wouldn't you? Hang on, I have a funny feeling that you're not actually a 3x3. Otherwise this building wouldn't be here. Nor would this building. Well, it's up to them to figure such things out. As long as they get in there and I can still have my... Ooh, maybe not that. As long as I can still have you here, all is well. Whoops. No, that is not all well. Actually, this location is very inconvenient. Well, when in doubt, find someone's home and brutalize it. There we go, much better. Fighting stopped. There we go, there's Lesotho. I know I'm not being very good on my renaming convention. I might do a bit of that off stream, just because finding stream time is a little bit more difficult than before. Whereas finding time when I can plug away and just fix things like that is a lot easier. In any case, oh god no, not engineering supplies. These need to be for mail. Simple little journey here for 2 of them. I like to do 2 because it makes me think to do the automation, and if I ever need more, it's a very simple job to expand that. And action coach. There and there. Make sure that you're automated, and again 2, 3, 4 of you. Off you go. OpenTTD, here we go, says Alpha Crivens. What time is it over there? Isn't it time for X3? Will it ever be time for X4? Right, Botswana. Botswana Central is right there, but that's not good enough for you. Oh yeah, I've done complicated things to you courtesy of my trains here. What can I do to help? That's what King Harkinian would say. I don't like that. I would rather bridge to here, bring this down, have you come out and up. And then we'll have you come over one way or the other, and we'll give the Botswana Central these. And of course Botswana needs some attention inside as well, and it goes, let's see here, and where else can you even fit without destroying a home? Actually out here is pretty good. Action coach, go, and auto spread out for 4. Actually, maybe for more than 4. I'm actually going to do 6. I'm going to do 8. There's a hotel there, so the amount of passengers coming out is going to be vastly increased. And you need to do much and such the same. Only need 2 of you because hotels don't make mail, just passengers. But a fair whack of them. How are Habsburg lands treating you? Pretty well. Vienna, I don't have much love for Vienna. It's my 2nd trip there. I still think their drinking culture is a bit crap, and their prices are sky high. And whilst the city is very beautiful and opulent, I just find that serves to highlight how unpleasant other parts of it are. Whereas the more crumbling nature of Budapest makes it endearing. Good old Budapest. Right, Nambia Chinks. I made a lot of these without considering connecting them closer to the train station. Normally I do. Normally I have the train station right up against the cities. What came over me today? This is a little awkward, but what if we do that? That is not quite right. I tell you what the whole problem is. the existence of this hill. What if it just weren't there? Could extrapolate that thought a bit dangerously far in Africa, but never mind that. Let's actually connect up Nambia. There's not a lot of logic between when I'm using trams and when I'm using other road vehicles. I do really like trams, but with this JGR patch I also really like the road vehicles, so we just continue to do what we enjoy here. Let's make sure that there is adequate place here for healing up. And the vehicle goes there, there, and there. There are two of them, and they auto space out. And then you borrow that order, but the depot goes there, and off you go. I'll be taking a trip to Budapest this spring, says Dorothea, probably around Easter. I'm visiting a friend who's studying there. Yeah, I've been running into a fair few people that say they're here for studying. I wasn't aware that Budapest was up there as... Oh, crivens, I see the mistake now. Wasn't aware it was up there in terms of candidates for good places to go to study, but I don't know these kinds of things. Nor does it particularly interest me. Ah, okay. I thought I wasn't covering that hotel and I was a little bit bummed that I wasn't, but now I do. It gets and produces passengers. Which is a strange thing, like outputting its own input feels like coal liquefaction from Factorio. Ah, Factorio. I should be careful not to incite the powers of that name. I'd be tempted to stream Factorio again, but I'd have no idea what to do with it. Like, what is there to do in Factorio of interest at this point? I can't play the game fast. I'm very, very slow at playing Factorio. And it's a game that I like to methodically plug away at in my own time. Well, not every game I play has to be streamed. This is a nice simple one. We'll just link you together with this tram network. Angola Central. We'll have you on both sides here. And then we'll give you similar treatment over here. If I'm making any mistakes with what I'm doing here, do shout it out. There's a good chance that, given the... What's it been, like a week since I've plugged away at this? Some common sense will have flown out of my head and I'll be making easy mistakes. Yeah, surely being the benevolent folk you are, you'd help us out there, right? Excellent. Build a mega base, play a makeover mod. I haven't tried the mods, but I haven't seen anything that really makes me go, ooh, I want to play that kind of modding in Factorio. A few quality of life things for sure. That's about as far as it goes. Why are you not waiting? There we go. So now Angola can get it. In fact, with that, I think we have linked them all up. It's almost hard to tell that I have it here. Again, this white on... Not even white, it's more of a bluish tinge than a white. So say my laser-enhanced eyes. Point is, this particular texture is very hard to read in the game. I prefer the clean white or the clean green, but this, oof, painful stuff. Zambia. Hold on, did I completely miss Zambia? I think I did. I must have looked at Zambia and assumed that it was Zimbabwe. How's Zambia getting in on anything here? Well, Tanzania is the main connection for a lot of this. They're doing a little 2x2 thing here, aren't they? Okay. Okay, just trying to think how to bootstrap it in here in an eloquent way. Africa seems rather snow. Yeah, Africa is well known for its intense amount of water and how cold it is. Well, it does get both those things, but maybe not well known. There was a whole song about raining down in Africa. I think everybody knows by now. I don't make use of it very often, so I'm going to build a narrow gauge. Probably doesn't see much use because it's pretty useless. I can't actually conceive of many uses for it, but it can get it here. I'm sure we can have a generous 7-length 2-track narrow gauge railway connected in on the Mozambique Exchange. No, the Mozambique Exchange already extends out to you. However, let's not be put off by that. Where there's a will, there's a way to make money. Let's get that narrow gauge stuck right in here. What do you mean separate station? I must have already pushed this out as much as it can go. There we go. Get in on that Mozambique Exchange. Try and push this in as much as I can. Because you're going to need to get in like so. Believe it or not, the narrow gauge is narrow. It's so narrow. We're quite far down, aren't we? Okay. Can't actually tell where this one's going to pop out. We got it? We got it? Jinx, just how far down is this thing? Okay, there we go. Bit of a trek, but I'm sure you can make it. And then you're gonna come up and out here. We'll flatten this. I'm just gonna destroy these poor people of Zambia. So it sounded too much like zombie. And then, do we have what it takes to have this? We do not, but that's okay. I can just destroy the roads, flatten it out, and then... Zambia bar, grill and rooms. I think not. This is an actual central. In fact, Alpha, was it not you that told me to do the Zeppelins for Zimbabwe? I did put that little placeholder on it so I'd remember that that's the place we have to do with Zeppelins. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be not very cost effective at all. And Zeppelins are astonishingly slow at getting to their destination, so it's going to be painful in a lot of new and interesting ways. Right, this is a short and fairly dedicated route. I have no problem just slamming you in... where though? Probably on the way out, so they don't already have their speed. Could I do you here? There we go. Oh right, it helps when you signal these kinds of things. Was I not actually coming along here? Oh well, it matters little. Let's get going with it. New vehicle. What can we even do on the narrow gauge? There's not a whole lot available. Sort by introduction date. The diesel Zorro. I don't know if that's a standalone thing or if it's actually an engine. So to that extent, let's actually just say... oh, well, never mind. Snapper. Boarcat. These are some very weak engines. What is this even existing for? Snapper. I guess I'm getting that Boarcat. What a strange name. Its power is pathetic, though. Is it actually going to be able to get any speed going? In retrospect, I should have picked Lesotho, because it's known as the Kingdom in the Sky. Oh, hey Baron, I hope you've turned off your stream now. I'm sure it was all part of your master plan, though. Right, what do we have by introduction date? And it has to be for passengers. The rail bus only goes 88 kilometers per hour. I'm going to be struggling for power here. In that case, I actually should use the Gargoyle. And the Gargoyle can get rail buses up to 5. Length 5, that is. And then... Wait, why am I using the small ones? The medium coach... I think it's 6.5 a dozen around here. I don't know why you'd use this more expensive one, but I'm sure it's not going to be of much concern. Box fan up to length 7. This is weird. This is so weird. I'm very unconvinced this is going to be useful in any real way. Let's get 6 of you out there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll allow 2 in each station and then 2 in transit. So they arrive in Mozambique. Of course, nobody is there wanting to go to Zambia just yet. Give it time. They will have someone to collect. What I'm curious about is the breakneck speed these trains are going to be going at. Struggling immensely to get up that hill. Let's see, 60, 80. When this train hits 88 kilometers per hour. I actually think this number of trains might be overkill. To that extent, I'm going to obliterate you. Come out, just go in. Same with you, this is clearly too many. 4 will suffice. This is why I wish they would go in there as their first call, because they block the trains on their very slow coming out. They do pack up very quickly though, suspiciously so. And this is annoying. I wish I knew of a way to force them to go into this station first, if it's at all possible. You sure you don't want a double engine for that incline? I don't know if double engine helps. Would make sense if it did though. Tell you what, how about you automate your own separation for this? I don't use it often enough for trains, I think. Oh well, it's no big deal. As long as Zambia is getting a bit of love, enough to grow at least, then that's all we can really ask for. Malawi's not growing for some reason. They're barely getting anybody picked up. Maybe I just don't quite cover enough of the place. It's possible. Well, when in doubt, kaboom. I'm going to shove you in that place, join you up with Malawi, and that should certainly get everybody. Not that I'm looking for unlimited growth in all cities, but it's a bit sad if one of them doesn't grow, at least from their initial state. Right, the final one, Zimbabwe's Zeppelins. Unfortunately, I'm limited on airports. I can only construct 2 airports per city. So that already limits the amount of throughput we're going to get. We can have intercontinental hub airports. Do Zeppelins... How do actually Zeppelins move around in this game? Don't I have a Zeppelin? Does it count as a helicopter or a plane? I'm pretty sure I have a weird Zeppelin set up for something at sea. Or did I imagine that? I can actually check it. I can go to all of this. Yeah, look at you. So are Zeppelins helicopters? Certainly going down on that heliport as if it were one. And you come back out to here, don't you? Look at all those engineering supplies there, never getting properly delivered courtesy of our Zeppelin. Okay, it does count as a helicopter. It is agonizingly slow, and it's the amount that it can hold is pathetic. The very fact that this airship can carry the same amount as this tiny little helicopter is just bizarro, but okay, it being a helicopter type further makes it terrible. But gotta stay true to our word here. Zeppelins for Zimbabwe, so I'll get rid of that so I already know now. Intercontinentals have space for two helicopters. That's insufficient. But I think we now have access to heli stations, which have 3. We're gonna have to make do with that. I surely have to get used to when people let trains drive. The left is the proper way for trains to drive on. I know that left-hand drive for road vehicles is not exactly the common way across the world, but for trains, it is the correct way. Right. This is a really good and central place for a heliport. Unfortunately, I can't link heliports. That's actually very unfortunate. Need to maximize catchment of that. Well, no, screw it, there you go. Which means one should probably bring in passengers and the other should bring in supplies. But the throughput is still going to be painful. Okay, airship. Oh Christ, they actually need to go somewhere, don't they? Meaning you're going to need to get all of your Zimbabwe's coming in. I reckon from the DRC, because the DRC is a pretty happening central. Can I slither you in here? No. But I'm sure I could slither you in here. There we go. So now we're going to get our airships. They go from here, and they go to... where is it now? Why is that counted as Malawi Airport? Ooh, that's not good. That is the opposite of good. Sorry, Malawi. I can't be having this. It thinks it's closer to Malawi than Zimbabwe there. Unacceptable. There we go. Right, so with all that aside, I'm gonna grab you and yeah, get you into Zimbabwe. I reckon 9 is not going to work the way I want it to, but let's try. Get them activated and see how that goes. Zimbabwe like to get their hands on some fish, fruit and livestock. I don't think Zimbabwe actually has any industry whatsoever, but we could help them. Blame it on the fact that trains were invented in Britain and you can't simply start driving a train the other way around. You'd need a change of signs and signals, etc. Yeah, exactly. I'll force you all to do it the proper way since you seem unable to do it yourselves. Oh wow, there's something very intimidating about a concise squadron of Zeppelins like that. How are they going to deal with landing? Helicopters are awful at landing. Look at that, despite having 3 helicopter bits, only 1 can be used at a time. Kind of. Goodness, I hate these helicopters. I can see why they're so unpopular in this game. Is that all of them deployed at least? Okay. How many of these people actually want to go to... It's Zimbabwe, right? Yes, Zimbabwe. 5 of them going in. Okay, well at least that's one thing. Now, fish, fruit and livestock. Fish, fruit and livestock. Fruit seems sensible. I could set up a little cider place and then we can turn the alcohol into something that gets brought potentially back. Yeah, if we brought the alcohol back to the DRC... they don't have something that accepts alcohol, which is strange. Well, the DRC General Store does, but it's outside of range. Okay. Passengers, mail, engineering supplies, and food. Well, food I could do, but I'd need cattle to slaughter. I don't think you have access to that. There's not a lot you do have access to. You've got iron ore, and that's about our lot. Don't forget the mail, Jake. These blimps already carry mail. They have capacity for 30 bags alongside their 60 passengers, even though they're set for passengers. That'd be nice. I'd love to actually ride an airship someday. But probably not if I'm going in a hurry. Wow, dual cargo. Blimps are so amazing. My trains can have dual cargo. My trains can have lots of different cargo. Oh me, oh my. Boats already have the dual cargo as well. Basically everything other than road vehicles, because no one cares for road vehicles. Still, this doesn't answer the question. How do we get them fish, fruit, or livestock? Or rather, which one will we bring them? There's nothing saying the blimps have to bring... Actually, the blimps probably shouldn't be bringing fruit back. I don't know, but we're going to give them that industry. Alpha demands it. Found new industry. We shall give them their cider mill. Needs to be near the Zimbabwe heliport, or else it's not going to actually be delivered there. Not without doing some other jiggery pokery. I hope your coverage of people is sufficient there. So, where do we source ourselves some fruit? If we check out the map of the world, enlarge it, move over, ignore our lines. Oh god, Chad to Mali is suffering. Really suffering. Well, that's just testament that my lines are so popular that everyone in Africa wishes to use them. So let's ignore that for a second. I do really like the network I've made here. It gets a bit thick here, which is a bit, yeah, but otherwise... I should double check on that actually. Are people making use of the Gambia transfer? Perhaps too much use. 5,000 people are sitting in the Gambia transfer wishing they could go to Maryland. And that's not a mail problem, is it? No, it's purely a passenger problem. So I need to find myself a passenger thing and just start adding a whole lot more of them. I will speed up time and I will just gradually allow these people to join in. I'm not unloading them all at the same time because then they're just going to clump up together. Boats have a horrible tendency of clumping up together because they have long journeys to make with no real stops. The boys sadly don't contribute towards them figuring out how to space out better. One thing you could do is make some of these docks in the middle of the sea that they just wastefully go to, and that'll help them separate out, but I'm not bothering with that, heavens no. Thankfully the high capacity here should have slaughtered our way through those passengers. And it's good to see it being used. Yeah, there we go, that's more like it. Get these people out of Africa. Get these people out of America. Just get these people out and just make sure they pay me. Worth taking a quick gander at what actually makes us the money here. Last year all of our trains put together made us $138 million. Road vehicles making half of that. But given how this game is very much biased against road vehicles, that should still be seen as a considerable win. I lose money on alcohol. Oh, that's because these guys just sit around on contextual orders. The boats, though. Boats reign supreme. $377 million dues off of boats. What's the most profitable set that we have here? Sort by total profit last year. What even is this? This is them getting food from Florida, dropping it off in the Terra del Fuego steel docks, refitting to steel. Oh right, it's not food, it's scrap metal. Scrap metal to steel to goods. And then they bring the goods back. Yeah, no wonder that's a very profitable line. And there are a lot of them making that journey. 5,000 passengers waiting. I hope the station has some department stores to kill time while waiting. That's how we make the extra money and why we make them wait. Well, I wish it were. Hopefully it's not cutting too much into Liberia Central. Actually, Liberia Central probably has people waiting to, yep, go to South America. South America itself is going to have problems with that. Oof. All these people wanting to go to Bahia. for reasons unknown. But this is expected. As we continue to grow, there are more and more passengers straining our cargo disc network here. And I'm fine with that. They're just going to have to book their tickets in advance. So, Zimbabwe, you've got your cider mill set up. Let's locate ourselves some fruit. And turn that fruit into delicious profit. Fruits are done at orchards and piggeries, of which are quite limited, but I spy one in Madagascar that I like the sound of. It is right on the coast, so it's a bit of a waste to use a zeppelin for it. Was there another one there? Yeah, well, there's another one. Actually, there's a fair few. There's one right up here. I don't know what they're growing up there in cold mountains south of Ethiopia, but I might just bring those over. Which will, of course, necessitate another fairly useless heli station. Ethiopian orchard, yeah, sure. And we're going to need another batch of airships, this time equipped solely for fruit. 90 tons of fruit, but it's such a waste. Why are you making me do this? Anyway, full load at the Ethiopia orchards, if you please. And if we can find you, here we go. Drop it off there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them should suffice. Now get out there. I don't think I'll bother giving them engineering supplies. Actually, 6 might be overkill. I'm having second thoughts. 4 will do. It'll be enough to keep Zimbabwe growing better. They also want coal, sand, and scrap metal, or any of those. Coal and scrap metal are just for beating heart furnaces, but sand could be used in a sand blasting facility. However, sand is only gotten from dredging. Do you see a dredging site? Hang on, don't I grab sand already by a very horrible... Oh well, it's all the way over there, forget that. Dredging sites. Why am I having trouble seeing this? Okay, I see a couple promising candidates. The Guinea-Bissau Sandbank. It would be very easy to bring them some engineer supplies as well. Alright, sure thing. Very easy, he says. That's so close to being able to bring it by... Oh, that is so close. Why does it say supply sand when I bring it in? I think you can actually... Right, I think I see that. That must be part of the sandbank that you actually get the sand from, but you have to deliver the engineering supplies to be on top of that. Putting me in a slightly awkward situation, but only slightly. I'm just wondering if I should bring them engineering supplies, but it tempts me. Yeah, well, I can arrive there with them by boat, it's no big deal. So... A very simple engineer supply speedy bugger. I mean, this Oshima freighter is a pretty good zippy way to get things around, in my opinion. So if I get you for engineering supplies, and I very simply tell you to grab it from... Whoa, why did you grab those orders? There we go. Never mind that. I know why you grabbed them, because I clicked on a boat rather than the industrial yard. Full load engineering supplies at the industrial yard, bring them over to the Guinea-Bissau Sandbank, and honestly, if you keep doing that, then mission accomplished. You shouldn't need anything to tell you how to go around that either. The stream is live from Budapest, correct, Rombic? Did I actually update the stream title to mention that? Thinking about it, I don't think I even opened up my dashboard before starting this. Ah, okay. I remember now. I think I did it last night. I just bootstrapped in Austria to Austria-Hungary. Where's my mind at, though? I need myself a... Ooh, can almost get you. How about a little modest heliport? If we just had you out there, we'd be so close to it. Well, the heliport is small enough to surely just accept a bit of this. Okay. Well, no, it's not okay. There's nothing okay about this, but... Thinking about it, I didn't even set them down an industry for this sand, did I? Well, we can sort that. Found new industry. Glasswork, they want their sand and chemical. I found you close enough to this thing that it actually affects it, pretty please. Okay, that should be fine. And now we get ourselves our airship set out for sand. 60 tons of sand is pathetic. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, well then. The Guinea-Bissau heliport, go there in full load. And then drop off your pathetic amount of sand over in the Zimbabwe. And we're going to want 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you, I suppose. Get on out there and try to make me proud. You will fail, though. There's a built-in heliport on the sandbank, are you sure? Ah. Well, that's cool. I had no idea. Should have been a given. It has that that sign there. Okay, well, what we can do then is grab this and change the orders. There we go. That's going to be weird. I am keen to see how exactly they land on that thing. Can we refit the Zeppelins in Zimbabwe to drop off something usually produced on the way back towards the sandbank? You're the boss of Zimbabwe, Alpha. We absolutely can. They'll be able to pick up goods and alcohol, but I want to see how in the world they land here. Oh, here comes one. What? What the hell is this? Is this a threat to Guinea-Bissau? One of them's broken down up there. Might not be you, might be the one. There we go. Oh no! It's limited in speed yet further. Well, if nothing, you're gung-ho, so you should produce plenty of sand. I just have my worries about this. This is wrong. This is all sorts of wrong. Okay, so goods and alcohol are being made here, but you're right, they need to be dropped off somewhere along the way. Okay. There is a hotel here that will happily take both those things. Wait, no, they won't take goods, will they? But general stores would, if I can find one. Is there a general store along the way? Activate your eyes. I'm very surprised I don't see a general store in Liberia, of all places. Maybe it does have one and I'm just not seeing it. Alternatively, we could open up the map. It is, or it does count as an industry. Oh yeah, there is one in Liberia. Then they could stop off and dunk goods there. Why am I not seeing it? Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay, well, lucky you, Liberia. You get to enjoy your very own heli station. I don't think they're going to feel lucky for this. But you never know, it might be a situation in which I want there to be a heli station here. I can't imagine why that would be, but there you go. So what does this mean? This means I need to... He's a-thinking, he's a-thinking. Back they come. Right. I'll pause you so I can get this done here. Go to Zimbabwe, and I want you to refit to... Why don't I just have you refit to available cargo? And then, hey, yeah, then they can figure out what to refit to. Clever thinking, Jake. I need to make sure that when you're here, full load and refit to sand. And then once you're done in Zimbabwe, we want you to go to Liberia heliport and unload all. Alright, let's see if that works. So down you go. You drop off the sand. You didn't switch to anything, probably because the goods haven't been made yet, have they? Haven't they? Come on, where's all that alcohol? We know we want alcohol. Maybe it hasn't registered as available yet, or maybe this doesn't work the way I thought it does. You're still just staying there for sand. Refits to available cargo. But I wonder if the cargo won't become available if they don't know that it can be taken to Liberia, where they will happily take alcohol and food. And goods. Don't know why I'm bringing up food, they don't make food there. Ain't happening. Station probably doesn't know it needs to grab goods. Yeah. In that case... let's work on refitting to alcohol first. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we do have the Zeppelins coming in with fruit and with sand, so I would expect there... I mean, I know the goods and the alcohol's being made. None of it's being picked up yet, though. Why? Why do they not consider Liberia heliport as a legitimate place to send their alcohol and goods to? We'll see when we get the next shipment of sand or fruit here. Tell them to full load in Zimbabwe, maybe? Oh wait, for some reason they're not... Ah right, you're the Ethiopian orchards, you don't fill up on anything on the way back. So that stands to reason. Refit usually means that you will fill up there. So the fact that they're not being produced to the heliport surprises me. You're coming in here with loads of fruit. So I know that the alcohol's getting made, but it's not being put here. Right. If that's the case, then let's try changing out to... Oh, hang on, the fruit doesn't go there anyway, but... I don't like telling them to full load. They hang around for longer than I want them to. No loading. I don't have an answer as to why this doesn't happen. Liberia heliport does accept alcohol, but they won't pick it up. I wonder if I can start things moving another way then. What if I just do a very simple thing here, where I connect you with it, and I just tell you, for the love of God, bring some alcohol over here. Is that going to start the alcohol flowing? There'll be somebody who knows exactly why this doesn't do what it does. Who knows exactly why this isn't doing what I want it to do, but heavens knows. Right, just full load cargo and make sure you unload it there. Activate. That should definitely spur this on to knowing that it needs to grab alcohol. So hopefully the next bunch of alcohol will actually go into the heliport. That was probably sand. Tell you what, I'll get another one of these vehicles for goods as well. Otherwise you take the same orders. There we go. There goes the alcohol at least. And the goods. Okay, now they should start flowing. I don't care about these vehicles. I'm just going to tell them to go back to the depot. I make money off a transfer that goes nowhere. I wonder if that could be exploited. Come to think of it, in the vanilla game, aren't you only meant to get the money on the final leg of the journey, rather than any of the transfers? Maybe you could just pick up goods, move them to somewhere where they're not needed, and still make money off of them. It's a consideration. Right, so you dropped off that, but you don't pick up alcohol, so it's not a concern. I'm more curious about somebody refitting to available goods. Where's my brigade of Zeppelins? Well, they're not even over the Guinea-Bissau sandbank, which is piling up with loads of sand. I need more of these than I thought. Okay. If that's the case, then I'm going to clone one of you. I'm going to take this order and I am actually going to change this to refit to available, since it should work that way now. And I'm going to make sure that your order is actually to start at Zimbabwe. And let's see if that works. Out they go. They did refit to available. And they grabbed those very few crates of goods. Now, if I make you do much the same, skip. Same with you actually, skip. All of you just get out and skip. You should go and get those loads of alcohol, right? Hey, there we go. So I don't know why we needed to get that kick-started with another vehicle. Maybe there's something I don't quite know about refits to available. Heavens knows. 2002 a Zeppelin Odyssey. Listen, Alpha tells me to make Zeppelins, I make the Zeppelins. Stations start generating the moment the vehicle passes. Goods don't generate with destinations in mind without cargo disc on for that. But the Zeppelins were coming in, and their next stop did accept the goods, so I don't know why they weren't being brought in. Anyway, they are now. Look at that. In comes the alcohol, in comes the goods. And I don't think these Zeppelins are going to be profitable. How is that a cost? How in the world is that at cost to you? This is sad. It's just Alpha trying to sabotage my run. But who knows, maybe he's getting some sick pleasure derived out of this. There's a small profit made on some that pays off the losses of the other. However, Zimbabwe is actually going to be growing from that. They get a good amount of packs moving around. Although actually the passengers and mail being moved from out of the city is a little pathetic due to the small coverage of Zimbabwe airport here. We, however, will fix that partially. I'm going to make a pathetic little network here just to extend it. And for that we will put you in here and you in here, just to be part of Zimbabwe's airport thing. And then extend you out by having... actually, you can join up with this Zimbabwe heliport, can't you? Okay. And with that, we can move these... no, not goods. Absolutely not goods. Mail. Move mail around, so you go there, there, Oh, I made those two the same kind. Never mind that then. You gotta go and be replaced with that. So there, there, and there. I'll have two of you because I like to have two of you, so I can automate your separation. And then with passengers, Twin Hills... much the same, but the other way around. There, then there, then there. Clone, automate, go. I sure hope available cargo doesn't include passengers, or we will start ferrying people to Liberia now that you linked this. Didn't consider that. But it could. Oh, look at that. In comes the mail. Oof. Well, you know, whatever works. If something doesn't get transported much, then it'll just drop in rating and we won't get much of it at all. So it's a self-balancing system here. Look at that, you grab the goods. I don't know how they prioritize the goods that they shift to. Maybe they go for the ones that they have most stuff piling up for. But now it could be a problem that we have all the people brought into Zimbabwe only to be shipped out by blimp over to Liberia. Messy, but I'm pretty sure you told me to do this for a mess. My greatest pleasure would be to see Zeppelin circling over London, but this will do. We will have to have a London station at some point. In any case, unless I am sorely mistaken, that is Africa. Completely linked up to the Pax Americana in a largely satisfactory manner. I'll have a quick look at the map because it gives a better overview of that. We can even look at the moving vehicles between it all, complete with names. Now if that isn't something of beauty, I don't know what is. It doesn't look like Kenya's linked up, but it is. The route goes way through the mountains here and pops out to link it up to the DRC. Otherwise, well, this is one way to learn all the countries of Africa, isn't it? Are we missing any? We're missing the contested lands just south of Morocco. I forget their actual name. Disputed Zone, maybe? No Canary Islands? What Canary Islands? Yeah, there's only so much we can work with. It was a struggle enough to have a functional Hawaii. We did get it in the end, but even had to squeeze what we could out of the little northern island. I think the smallest place we have actually bent the knee to establish is Trinidad and Tobago. And Trinidad and Tobago is actively invading Guyana. They're coming to claim the scrapyard. Well, they grow quite frequently, so more power to them. Otherwise, Haiti has well and truly dominated compared to the Dominican Republic. I did say earlier on I'd be curious which of the two comes out on top. Big Island Mike's house had to be bulldozed. Come now, nobody knows who Big Island Mike is. Except in this community. Now, there is Jamaica, but I think they have to get to a certain size before they start doing the multi-stories, so they'll never truly be that great. Cuba having their own industry, but doesn't get any love nor care. Okay, I like it. You know what that means. It's time to actually move on and get to Europe. We've been waiting on this one quite a long time. I do have not Europe. I've got Russia pre-labeled here, but that's because I don't know all the different divisions of Russia. I don't think any country in Europe is going to get divided up, though, aside from Russia. It's just too dense with countries, so we might as well get going. And we're going to get going next time, because I've actually got to go out my... well, I've got to get going, basically. So, we're going to save up there. The internet is really good here, so I'm going to stream while I can, while the going is good. Heavens knows we'll end up later, but for now, this is A-OK. Freedom Delivery saved in 2002. Perhaps off-stream I will sort out some of the names and the industries that keep popping up in the wrong places. But we'll finally be able to have some fun with Europe, and being a very Eurocentric channel, well, maybe I'll let some people, if they come from the right places, make some decisions there. In any case, until I'm back with that, it is, you know what? I don't know what it would be in Hungarian, but maybe Google Translate could tell me. Hungarian to English. How do we say cheers and cheerio? Does it even know what cheerio is? No, it translates cheerio to cheerio. Well, let's just go with a more ubiquitous bye. So, ud es vislat. Apparently that's it. Would have butchered it, but let's face it, there are no Hungarians there.